Hello, you're listening to the show about ideas, ideologies, and their inherent contradictions. A set of dialogues with some of the most exciting people in this politically charged time. This is Sudipto Mondal, and you're listening to What's Your Ism?
I'm an atheist in the same way as I'm a leprechaun.
Why have there been casteism existing in the country still today?
Feminism, by definition, is the belief that men and women should have equal
The
rights.
nature of the system is to be as mean and rotten as you can, to try to maximize profit.
This is a podcast of the News Minute, and you're listening to What's Your Ism?
Welcome to the latest episode of What's Your Ism? In today's episode, we have a very unique religious leader with us. Our guest started off as a lawyer in the early 1990s in Nagpur and Mumbai before she moved to Delhi and joined the National Campaign for Dalit Human Rights. In 2006, she quit not only law and activism but also renounced her family life. She donned robes to start modern India's first order of female Ambedkarite Buddhist monks, or Bhikkunis. Bhante Suniti Bhikkuni is the director of the Mahaprajapati Educational Foundation and one of the most prominent Ambedkarite Buddhist voices in the country. Bhante Suniti, the last few days have been very busy for you. Lakhs of people have turned up in Nagpur. You were in Diksha Bhumi, the spot where all of them gathered. You had a stall over there. It must have been super hectic. There was a lot of dust and a lot of people and a lot of exhaustion. I hope you're feeling well. How's your health?
Thank you, Sudipto. I'm fine now. Yes, it was really very hectic days at Diksha Bhumi, and we love that. We love to be a part of this hectic movement, we can say. And I just want to clear that please don't mention me as a religious leader. Even though I am in robes, because I follow Buddha's teachings, but I follow it only because it talks of human rights. It talks of humanity. So I prefer myself as a human rights activist and not to as a leader.
A human rights activist in robes.
Human rights activist in robes, yes, correct.
And we started off saying that you're very much part of the Ambedkarite Buddhist Navayana movement, but slightly apart. And your organization, it talks about the journey of transformation from womanhood to a sentient being. And can we get into that straight away? Asking you, what is it that sets your mission apart from this main Ambedkarite Buddhist Navayana mission?
Yes, we can start by it. I just want to clear some points here. So as Baba Sahib said, when asked by a journalist at the time of this conversion period in 1956, he was asked whether it is Hinayana or Mahayana. So Baba Sahib said, I don't follow Hinayana or Mahayana, but you may say it as Navayana. He never said that I am saying, you may say it. So, because I know what Baba Sahib said is very correct, and we are following him. Through Baba Sahib Ambedkar, we are following Tathagat Buddha. And I know that he was very clear that Hinayana and Mahayana was after Buddha. It came after Buddha. And Baba Sahib said that what I want to give it to the people is the real teachings of Buddha. I want to introduce the real Buddha to our people in India. So I also don't want to use that word Navayana. No Yana I want to use.
Interesting. Okay.
No Yana.
Because that is what I was a little confused about when I went to Diksha Bhumi, when I visited your stall. On the way to your stall, I saw actually, at least as far as the people who were from the religious order, not just the laity or the followers, there was an entire galaxy of them. There were people from Tibet, there were people from Sri Lanka, Japan, China, So I was confused as to what is the yana over here. So it's interesting that you say this. Can you expand a little more? What do you mean?
Yeah. It is not at all any yana, because Buddha never said about a yana like that, like word used yana. But we find that, I don't know, maybe I'm correct or not, the yana is a kind of a wheel, okay? And Buddha's wheel is to, that is the circle, how the Dhamma chakra we say, Dhamma chakra. So it is the Dhamma chakra, and it is totally on the teachings of Buddha, which says that how the life of people can be converted into a happy life. And Baba Sahib gave us that. He said, what Buddha wanted, that I won't give it to the people. So I take it as the real teachings of Buddha, what he wanted at that time. Because the people doesn't change in any era. They are same. Their life is same. Their birth, taking birth, living as the whole life, and dying. What is there, it is very well explained by Buddha. And we find the same now also. That time there was violence, now also there is violence. That time there was discrimination, now also there is discrimination. The thing is, what Buddha said is that you have to be a human being, and for that you have to cultivate your mind. You have to change your mind. You have to control your mind. Because we say that we are a human being, but really we are not born as a human being. We are born as an animal. And this animal has to use his mind and become a human being. Therefore it is said, we are never born as Buddhist. We have to become Buddhist.
Interesting.
So that part we have to understand. And to become a Buddhist, we have to make use of our buddhi.
Right.
Therefore, I always, when I talk to people, when they ask me that, will you come to a program like where people of all religions come and sit and we'll have a discussion on a religious part,
Right.
Then on the stage, when all the different leaders of religions, they sit, I ask them, I think all here are Buddhist. And they get shocked.
Right.
Then they, how you are saying as Buddhist? I said, yes, because I know you all are using your buddhi. Therefore, you're Buddhist.
Right.
Without using a Buddhist, your buddhi, your mind, you cannot do any work. If you are following whatever you want to speak, following in your life whatever you want to do, that has to be according what you think. The thinking part is most important, and that comes through mind.
The intellectual part.
It's an intellectual part. Nothing can be done without that. So, be a part of your mind and do accordingly. Don't say that it is a tradition or because someone has done it, so I have to follow it. Use your mind whether it is good for the people, whether it is good for the humanity, whatever religion you follow. Therefore, I say I'm not a religious person,
but a human rights activist.
But a human rights activist, because I think of the human. I think of the human being. And I feel that everyone should follow one thing, that they should be a human being.
Fantastic.
And if they want to think of sentient being, thinking of Buddha means try to become a sentient being. That is, be sensitive towards each and everyone to whom you join or to whom you contact. Be very sensitized. A sensible person. Become like Buddha.
And in that human rights activity that you do, in those human rights interventions activities that you do, you are also invested in the woman rights part in addition to the thing, because there is a special focus area for you. Why is that focus area necessary? Where do you think Ambedkarite Buddhist movement, let's call it the Ambedkarite Buddhist movement, when you describe it as a human rights movement, not just a religious movement, automatically we have to go to one of the most notable human rights activists of this entire last century, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. So how does the womanhood part or the womanhood question get addressed in the larger Ambedkarite movement? Why is it necessary to have an order of Bhikkunis, of which you are a head?
Yeah, it's a very important question here, this one. Because, the women are never treated as men. Men are given more importance than women. If this is so, then we cannot talk of human rights. The woman has to come to the level of men. Or otherwise, in a natural sense, I would say the man should come at the level of women.
What does that mean? How does that happen? You're laughing.
Because women are more sensitive than men. Like the motherhood qualities and the treatment of towards their children and looking towards even any boys or men, they care for them, they caring nature. It is very different apart from the natural qualities. They are forced to do their work or show their motherhood or their caring qualities. They wanted it to be limited to the family itself. Okay? But naturally, it's not so. They are forced to do that. They say, see, this is your child, so you take care of that child more. Okay? But a woman always thinks that the child belongs to any family. But that is a child,
Right.
So she has some feelings towards that child. It's the natural quality within her, which has been stopped. Therefore, in Buddha's one sutta, that is Karniyamitta Sutta, it is said to the bhikkhus, the Buddha, through this sutta, he gives his discourse to the bhikkhus saying that you have to look after every person as if they are your own child. This plays a very important role, this discourse in the life of bhikkhu and bhikkhunis. So bhikkhunis take it very easily. It is very difficult for bhikkhus too. Because they are men, they are taking the robes, they are taking the teachings of Buddha. I think that they are trying their best. But the qualities, it has to be developed more. As we say, the reservation part, we have to come to the same level, the part which is very less or which is not given opportunity, or you have to develop more. So here, when people say me, oh, you are bhikkhuni, you are a woman, so we want you to give discourses or training to the women. I said, that is not correct. The correct is that the man has to give the more discourses so that they can treat women equally to them.
You have to give more discourse to men, you're saying,
Yes,
to correct them.
To correct them.
Right.
Are women treating unequally to men? I don't think so. Maybe there are many such kind of flaws in between. But we can't say like we say the word used, majority. Majority part is that when we find, as a lawyer, I'm a lawyer,
Yes, I was hoping that I would come to that at some point in the discussion. Yes,
but
okay.
Because of that, many women cases related to domestic violence and many things came to me. So I find that the women are coming out and complaining about the family matters only because they are not given the proper treatment in the family. Okay?
Right.
So, if they are given proper treatment, a woman will never dare to come out of that house. Because She doesn't have any place to live. Even it's very basic things like a girl child. She is not having her own house. When you ask where does she live, she will say she is living in her father's house. The house belongs to the father. If she goes against her father, father will drive her out. Okay? After marriage, you ask her, where do you live? She says, I am living in husband's house. And if she doesn't listen to her husband, the husband drives her out. So, this is the practical life of a woman. She doesn't have anything of her own. Even the name. She used name of her father. After marriage, she uses the name of her husband. Some are so advanced, they use the name of father and husband both. Okay?
Right.
But they are not identified, or they are not telling that she is the one. She should be known by her name, by her work. This is what Bhikkhuni come here. We Bhikkhunis don't have any identity of father and husband with us. We are Bhikkhunis and we are known as a Bhikkhunis by our own name. This authority, I can say, the Buddha has given to the Bhikkhunis.
Right, tell us about that, because when you speak about this, I am guessing a lot of people who might listen to this will say, "Arey, something new." And yesterday when we were just preparing for this interview, you said, no, this is not new. Firstly, in the Ambedkarite order itself, it is not new. If you can firstly talk about that. And also in the ancient Buddhist orders from the time of Gautama Siddhartha, there has been this female order. Can you talk about that a little bit in history?
Yes.
1968?
Yeah.
67, 68, can we start
67, 68.
there? क्या हुआ था उस टाइम पे?
Yes. See, when Baba Sahib introduced Buddha to the people, and it was a revival of Buddhism in India. So, that time, many, we know, lakhs and lakhs of people came to Diksha Bhumi to take Diksha and know Buddhism. But before this, Baba Sahib had many programs, we can say, with people of India, Maharashtra, especially Maharashtra. It's a series of programs which started from the first Mahad program,
Satyagraha, Mahad Satyagraha?
Yeah. For water, they
Water,
say.
yeah.
But here again, I always say that it was not for water. People doesn't go deep into all these things. Actually, have you been there?
Not yet, no. I want to.
Whoever goes and they come in contact with me, I tell them just to go and read the sentence written below the statue,
In Mahad.
Baba Sahib statue is there, and there is a pillar on which the statue is put on. On that pillar, some words are written, but that is in Marathi. Okay? No one goes and read,
What does it say? I'm very curious now.
In Marathi, it is written there, Ha Sangar. Sangar means yuddha. That is a war. Ha Sangar, पाण्यासाठी नसून. Means not for the water.
Not for the water.
But मानवी हक्कासाठी आहे. But it is for the human right. This is important.
And how,
if you wanted to do it for water, means you would have gone to a very good water, good water tank.
This is
not
not a very
the dirt.
This is not a drinking water tank.
It was not a drinking water tank. Even that were not allowed to use. Means the people were not treated as human beings. They were treated not even as animal. Because animal used to go and drink that water. No, from that first movement of Baba Sahib, the human rights activity started. It's for human rights.
And
So
the women's rights in that came when?
the same time, that's why I mentioned this. In this movement, women were also included. It was on 25th of December 1927.
This was what was
Yeah.
the Mahad event?
No, that is the Manusmriti Dahan.
Right.
Okay. Today also it is celebrated as the Women Revolution Day, as such, the 25th of December. Because in that movement of Manusmriti Dahan, Baba Sahib talked to women, and he asked every woman that you are the one who can bring the change. He motivated women to take care of the children as if they are human beings. Don't just give birth, give them proper culture. So, for that, many things he said to women.
But with regards to Buddhism and the order of Bhikkunis, what
No.
exactly?
Not he never said about any Buddhism that time. He talked of human rights only, because he wanted everyone to treat themselves as human beings. In his newspapers, what he came up with at that time, it talks of human rights only. Okay, because two important agenda of his movement was that you have to tell people that you are human beings, and you have to tell people that now don't dare to discriminate us, treat us as human being. Two things to both the side.
Male and female.
No, not male and female. I'm talking about the untouchability,
Right.
because there was the so-called upper caste people. They were not treating the lower caste people as humans. So he talked to low caste people, the so-called low caste people, the untouchables, that you have to understand that you are human beings through this Mahad movement. And through that, he gave message to the so-called upper caste people. Now they have understood that they are human beings. You should not treat them as inhuman. That two messages he gave in that movement. And the second step was Manusmriti Dahan, where he talked to women that you are part of a human. You are a human being. So you have to tell your children and bring them up as human beings. Okay, that culture you have to develop. And therefore he said, why are you going with all this jewelries which is not real one? It is not gold, silver. You are wearing many things, but it's not the real ornaments. So take it off. Just if you want to wear gold, just wear one single chain. As the women of these so-called high caste people wear. They're not having any ornaments on them. They don't show off. But you are showing so many things. Kavdi. Kavdi means the shells, that we have.
Yeah.
They were wearing that kind of things. They were wearing buds, black buds.
Beads.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Beads.
Beads, huh.
Sorry.
Uh-huh.
Beads. Black beads.
Right.
It was there. So, Baba Sahib said you should not wear all these kind of things. Having the threads, that black thread on hands, in as a necklace.
Yeah.
Necklace, as the threads were there, in the waist,
Ankle.
everywhere. And he said that you are showing that you are untouchables by wearing all these things.
The markers of your untouchability.
This is the mark of untouchability.
But Bhanteji, I again want to draw you back to this question.
Yes.
Sorry, no.
So,
These are important, things to underline actually, to build the context. This is all context building for the conversation around the Bhikkhuni order.
Yeah.
I believe.
Yes.
Because I suppose as an extension of this concept of human rights, as an extension of the movement itself as a new order of people who will carry the movement forward. Because when I started, you said that I am not a religious leader, but you are part of an order of ordained priests, monks,
Yeah.
nuns. What is the right word?
It is Bhikuni.
Bhikkhuni. Okay, you're part of an ordained
Sangha, ordained Sangha
Yes. Okay.
as a Bhikuni.
Ordained Sangha of Bhikkunis. This ordained Sangha of Bhikkunis has always existed. At the time of Baba Sahib's conversion in 1956, was there an order of Bhikkunis?
No.
Tell me about
Actually,
that.
I want to tell you that at that time, Baba Sahib never used Buddha's word or the Buddhist religion or regarding anything what he was going through. He knew who Buddha is and what his work was. He knew already, but he never used in front of public. Just because people were very, we can say, they were having their mind only in Hindu religion. And if Baba Sahib talked of religion, which is not regarding Hinduism or against the God of the Hindu, what they are having faith, they would have not come to him. So he avoided these words. Okay? But I'll tell you one thing. In 1924, in Bahiskrit Hitkarini Sabha, he gave the mission of that organization as educate, agitate, organize. That is nothing else but Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. But he did not use the words. He said educate,
Which is
that
Buddha.
is Buddha,
Mhm.
agitate, that is Dhamma, and organize, that is Sangha.
Sangha.
It has been, the sequence has been changed by the politicians.
Mhm.
And they say organize in center. And for agitation, they say that you have to come on the street and fight for your rights. Baba Sahib did not want that. So he introduced Buddha Dhamma Sangha in 1924 itself. Okay. And then he came to Buddhism in 1935, when he declares that he won't die as a Hindu. But he did not declare again that he will go to Buddhism. Actually, he was telling the same thing in his speeches. All the words what he was using, it was all about Buddhism. Through human rights, he was introducing that. But because he wanted to tell everyone that you are not treated as human being. That was his first important thing, putting everything in the mind of people, untouchables especially. And then in 1956, then he said,
So in 1956, he did this public
Yes. Yeah.
conversion. At that time, did he imagine who will take the faith forward? The 22 vows, for example, that he offered. Who did he imagine will take that path
Those
forward?
are not treated as human being.
No,
He
no.
wanted every
Of course,
untouchables.
Untouchables, definitely, but
Because-
formally untouchables. But no, in that, the reason I ask is, I want to again go back to this ordainment.
Hmm.
This business of creating an order of people who will take the faith forward, of Bhantes, of Bhikkunis and Bhikkούς. Or how did he imagine it? Was there anything about that?
I can't say that accurately what he thought
But
of it.
okay, but after that 56 event, what rapid developments happened?
He had been to different countries
Hmm.
like Sri Lanka, Burma, and he met with many monks there. But he had a question whether these monks will help people of India to change as Buddhist people. He had many expectations from the Sangha, but he didn't find anything. So he never talked of it. But
After 56, what happened? Who took the thing forward?
yeah, I'm telling about it. But while he was writing Buddha and his Dhamma, he had all that thing in his mind about the Sangha, about the monks. He had in his mind. Therefore, he had given the chapter, how a bhikkhu should be.
Hmm.
He wanted to create the new Sangha who would really work as a social activist. Not as a religion person, but as a social activist. If you go through that chapter, you will know social workers. Bhikkhus should be social workers. Okay? They should be like working for the people to change their life. He did not find in other countries any monks like that. He found that most of the bhikkhus are going for meditation. Some are going for chanting. But the real work in the field with the people, it's not there. It's missing. So he just mentioned that how a bhikkhu should be. The bhikkhus from India, they were the one who took robes, diksha for robes, which we say as pabajja. They took it from the Sri Lankan bhikkhus or the Burma bhikkhus. Myanmar. Actually, the bhikkhus from Burma, they were staying in Kushinagar or Bodh Gaya. So bhikkhus were already there, but they were not from India. We know only one name, that is Bhadantanand Kaushalan. He was a bhikkhu. And a young boy, he took robes. I don't know from whom he took it. That is Sumed. He is no more now. They both are not there. So they were at the Sumed was present at the time of Diksha with Baba Sahib. He was very young.
Young boy. Okay.
Yeah. So the bhikkhus were there, but from Indian bhikkhu only one was there.
And among them there was a Dalit and untouchable from the untouchable community.
Only one, that's Sumed.
Sumed. Okay, he was a Dalit.
He was from the untouchable community. But Bhadantanand Kaushalan was not. He was a Brahmin from Punjab.
Acha.
I can't say anything about that. But he was not a part of the conversion program. I don't know. It is said that he was not invited.
Who?
Bhadantanand Kaushalan.
Is it controversial?
Yeah.
What is the controversy?
Because he was a Brahmin. No, Baba Sahib directly said, I don't want any Brahmin bhikkhus to give.
But after his death, was this person accepted again?
Who?
This particular Bhante.
Yeah.
Bhadantanand.
He, to show his presence within the community of people who converted, he started translating the book Buddha and his Dhamma.
Into what?
Into Hindi.
Achha.
English book into Hindi. He did not ask Baba Sahib that he will do that. I don't know what relation was between these two, because Baba Sahib was very clear while he was talking with the bhikkhus. So that time we feel those who really understand about Bhadantanand Kaushalan, we find that purposely he took the translation work and he changed the main page of him, the first page. Baba Sahib had written the Buddha and his Dhamma. He never written the word Bhagwan and he never wrote Dharma. But Bhadantanand Kaushalan wrote Bhagwan Buddha or Unka Dharma. Dhamma is a Pali word. Buddha is a Pali word.
And this person was not there in the press ceremony in 1956.
No.
When did this person come and join the order?
He already was in robes.
By the time, okay.
Yeah, he was already in robes. But he was not invited, it is said. Okay. But people don't understand this politics. These Pali words were not changed into English, not translated into English by Baba Sahib. He kept the Pali words intact, the Buddha and his Dhamma. They are not English words, but he gave that title to that book. When it is translated to Hindi, the title has to be the same.
That was not done, you're saying.
That was not done. It was written Bhagwan Buddha or Unka Dharma.
Is that the only major change, or are there many other?
Many changes inside. I'm taking classes, you ask Mrudula and all.
Mridula is the head of the Karnataka chapter of the Buddhist
Yes.
Fraternity Council.
Yeah.
We will also come to that to
She
talk
made
about
a
your
call yesterday. I didn't know when we were talking.
right.
She
right.
called me. I saw today morning.
This is very interesting.
So I had a talk on this about the translation part. Many things
So
inside.
this dilution of that ism which Baba Sahib started, which you believe was a human rights movement, not as much a religious movement. These dilutions started happening immediately after 56.
Yeah, because the general public does not know. Did not know.
This translation is one element of that dilution.
Yeah,
What
yeah,
other
yeah.
things have, in your
Other
opinion?
things means Baba Sahib went to Sri Lanka, there, and he wrote one book, Puja Path, they say. I just edited that book. The first preface of that book is there because there was no translation, proper translation there. Baba Sahib had given only the Pali text. The translation was done, I don't know who did it, but it was not clear to all. And in that preface, Baba Sahib says that it was in 1950, 49 or 50. The preface is written, that book is coming up, where he says that many people are asking me how to do the puja when we become Buddhist.
What is the ritual aspect?
What are the rituals? What are
Right.
the traditions we should follow?
Yeah.
So Baba Sahib went to Sri Lanka to ask this. And there he got the chanting from Sri Lankan monk. So he brought that chanting to India.
What was the chant?
All these things what nowadays people do, that Trishan Panchashil and Gathas and Suttas, all it is recited in. And they say because Baba Sahib has given, so we'll do this.
Right.
Okay. So
But where is the dilution?
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
it is in that part, translation part.
Hmm.
This suttas of Buddha, which people chant, is the proper teachings of Buddha. Okay? Suttas. Suttas are the teachings of Buddha. We say sutta means updesh, discourses of Buddha given to the people. These suttas are chanted in Pali. But the delusion part comes here where they start puja in Pali. That is Puffa puja, Dhupa puja, Pradeepa puja. That are not the discourses. Okay. It is like you have to lit a candle.
It has nothing to do with
The discourse.
Buddhi,
It has nothing to do
Buddha or Dhamma or Sangha.
nothing to do with it, anything. But as the Hindu rituals were there when we pray to the gods, what they use, all things are written in this. Okay, so they lit a candle. They have the candles that sticks, no, fragrance के लिए वो रखा that is there.
Incense stick.
Incense sticks. Then flowers. Okay, flowers is there only to decorate, like, it should be there to make the people very, the atmosphere very calm and very, it should look nice, for that.
Aesthetic reasons.
Yeah. But these other things like keeping the fruits in front of the statue, keeping water in a vessel, which is used to keep the Ganga Jal.
Right.
So many things, these are there. So that is put in it, which is not the discourse of Buddha.
Or Ambedkar.
Or Ambedkar. No, they are not. Suttas are there, yes. We accept. That is to be chanted and understand.
What are these suttas?
Suttas like Mahamangal Sutta, Karniya Mitta Sutta. Like Mahamangal Sutta is recited in every occasion, when there is a celebration, marriage or birthdays, whatever it is. It is for how you can be happy in your life, what you have to do for that. The Buddha is explaining. There are 32 types of, 32 or 36, I don't remember. Because there are many, like Buddha says, how you have to behave with your parents, with the teachers, and with the people to whom you should be friendly with, where you can get good knowledge, how your atmosphere should be. Like that kind of small, small things he has given in his discourse. So that is chanted in the program, but not explained.
You are seeing this happening.
Yeah. So we translated it. There is a translation, but translation is like, other people have translated. But it is showing that it will give you punya, that is merit.
Right.
That merit will be, you will get the fruits of that merit after your death. Punya is the same thing. You won't get the fruits in your present life. It is like that. The people are giving bhojan dan. They give when they want that we want to do some punya. Okay, but they never think that daily they need food.
Right.
Anyway, this is another topic. I don't want to go. It will be very long.
No.
This
It's
is
interesting that you mentioned this, because lost in translation is sometimes a very, very important conversation in any religion. Right. This thing of having the ethos different from the practice of how it's this thing. And so translations into, you said Pali as a language also can become a ritual.
Yes.
Like how that, without understanding when you do it, and because I suppose in the Christian tradition, the one thing is there's translation, there is no bar. There is a Tamil Bible, Telugu Bible, Punjabi Bible and things like that. But in the case of the Buddhist texts, do we have it in every regional language, you think?
Nowadays in Tamil we have.
Tamil you have, okay.
Bangla.
Bangla.
But in...
Buddha and Dhamma. Okay, let's take Buddha and Dhamma. How important is this text compared to the other Buddhist texts?
Actually, Baba Sahib had given the real history of Buddha,
In
from
that
the life,
book.
birth, from the life, the whole life of Buddha, from the birth till the end. Okay, in between, about his family, the ancestors and all, he has given one part. And then how he left the house or his...
How he
Stay-
left the house, I've read that part. In that there is some
Yeah.
magical element
Yes.
which is there in Buddha and Dhamma, written by Baba Sahib also.
Yeah, Baba Sahib had given
That magical element, how do you explain? Ki sab log so gaye and then Siddhartha walked out of the palace.
It's not written by Baba Sahib. He explained about the war between the Sakyans and Kolyans. And because of that, Siddhartha is given the punishment of, what we say, exile.
Exile.
Yeah. So he was exiled by the Sakya Sangha because he opposed the war. That's the reason Baba
That's the
Sahib had
reason
given. Yeah.
he exited the family.
Yeah.
Not this thing of,
No.
which is
and
normal.
the Yashodhara supported him. And she says that you are going, so you just find a good path.
So that's the basic difference between Baba
Yes.
Sahib's Buddhism and the other...
Baba Sahib Buddhism, no.
No, or rather the book, in terms of the book Buddha and his Dhamma,
Yeah.
that's the basic, because many other stories, there is this thing of some magical thing happens.
Yes.
Everybody in the palace goes to sleep because of that.
No,
and
he's according to the traditional way of explaining
yeah.
why Siddhartha lives is about seeing a dead body, seeing a old person, okay, then seeing a sannyasi. He thinks that I will become a sannyasi. Because these are all sufferings in the life. At the age of 28, he had not seen all these things. Baba Sahib says, is it so? That Siddhartha had not seen all these incidences in his life?
So even there he's being the intellectual and the scholar, saying he's calling to rationalism as opposed to...
Yes. And he has references. The weak part here is he has not given the references in the book.
Footnotes, you mean?
Footnotes are not there.
But there is enough reference for this.
Bhadantanand Koshalan has given the references on this. He has
Correct
given
references or
correct references he had given.
for this war among the Sakyas,
Yes.
as a result of which Siddhartha was
Yes, he gave
sent
the
into
reference,
exile.
Yes.
I want to bring you back to the
Yeah.
female order.
Mhm.
Yes.
Then Baba Sahib also wrote about this rise and fall of Hindu women. He wrote one small book. In that he talk about Bhikkunis.
Acha.
And he tell how the women were stopped from becoming Bhikkunis by the Bhikkhu Sangha at the time of Buddha. And how it is promoted that Buddha said no to women. And he says that it is not the correct text mentioned in the literature of Buddha's teachings. He is answering that. He says that Buddha was the one who followed gender equality. Then how can he say no to women to take robes? Okay, so by this part we know he was very well aware of the Bhikkhuni Sangha too.
And the Bhikkhuni Sangha started in India when?
At the time of Buddha, it started, and we find there is one Mahaparinibbana Sutta. That is the discourse given to Ananda by Buddha before 3 months of his Mahaparinibban, where he says
Mahaparinibban means before
the end, the
passing.
death of Buddha. 3 months before, he declares that he will leave the world after 3 months. And Ananda cries. He said, no, you should not do this like that. So then he explains his starting life. Buddha tells his starting life to Ananda, where he says that while he was getting enlightenment, in that process, the mar comes. The mar means negative thoughts. Says that now you are enlightened. So you leave the world. You die. Okay? Now you are enlightened. No need of you. Nothing you have to do now. And Buddha says to Mar, means to the negative thoughts, he replies saying that I want 4 pillars. I want to form that 4 pillars that are Bhikkhu, Bhikkhunis, Upasak and Upasika who will take my Dhamma to people. Means at the time of just after getting enlightened, he says that. That means he had in his mind about Bhikkhunis. He is thinking about Bhikkhunis at that time. This is not told to people generally. It is always said by the bhikkhus or those who study Buddhism. They said Buddha said no to women. He does not want Bhikkhunis. So this is the contradiction part we can see. Because
who says this? Which orders say that there is no
Bhikkhu Sangha. And also the
Indian Bhikkhu Sangha?
All Theravada especially.
Which is the Sri Lankan orders?
Sri Lankan.
Myanmar is also Theravada.
Myanmar is the topmost to avoid. They punish Bhikkhunis. They put in jail.
Acha. And our bhikkhus in the Ambedkarite order today are also getting their ordainment from Myanmar Buddhists?
Yeah. Yes.
So your bhikkhunis will never get ordainment from any Myanmar?
Theravada bhikkhus, no.
But so the day before yesterday when we were in Diksha Bhumi, there were many Theravada people also?
Yeah. All think that they are Theravadas. All say that they are Theravada
Most
bhikkhus.
Ambedkarite Buddhists will identify as Theravada, you are saying?
Theravada, yes.
So how do they respond to you?
They are against me. They are against the Bhikkhuni Sangha. They don't allow us to give the stage. They don't allow us to speak. They get angry and they leave the stage if we start speaking. They leave the stage, they leave the place when we start speaking.
These are so-called Navayana Ambedkarite Buddhists.
They won't say they are Navayana. bhikkhus.
Actually, yes, you were mentioning this. So the
Yes.
monks, so the people we saw there were shouting Jai Bhim, Jai Bhim.
Some are there. I
No,
can't say
I'm saying
all.
the common people who are there. By the
Common
lakhs,
people
the
says,
lakhs of
Jai
people who we
Bhim,
saw
yeah.
there, everyone has a Baba Sahib portrait or some
Yes.
symbolism from that Ambedkarite movement, one blue flag or something
Yes.
like that. Plus there is this Panchashil flag.
Yeah.
There is Jai Bhim also, there is Namo Buddhaya also.
Yes.
But you are saying that is among the common followers,
No.
but
Not
not among the monks.
Yeah. But monks are forced to say Jai Bhim
When?
in this kind of programs when public are there. Otherwise they will
Oh, otherwise they don't say Jai Bhim.
bhikkhus won't say. If you tell, very few bhikkhus are there. If you ask them to garland Baba Sahib statue, they will do it. Otherwise, no bhikkhu.
And these are mostly Dalits who have been ordained?
Most of them, yes.
So do you have any sense of how many what is the size of the order?
Majority.
Numbers, in terms of numbers, कितने होंगे Ambedkarite Buddhist monks?
I
जो लोग
can't say the
दलित
number.
समाज से आके बने?
सारे वही है यहाँ पे महाराष्ट्र में.
नहीं वो हमें कुछ
Maharashtra, UP,
अच्छा
everywhere in India.
Tamil Buddhists also
See,
are mostly
Yeah, they are also Dalits.
Dalits. So
Okay.
they are either getting their Diksha from Myanmar.
Very few Brahmin bhikkhus are there. Very few OBC bhikkhus are there. And you find
In
OBC
Diksha Bhumi,
bhikkhus,
when you see annually in Diksha Bhumi, I'm talking about that crowd.
they are all Ambedkarite.
And mostly Dalit background,
From the Dalit background.
SC background.
Yes. All the Dalit bhikkhus from UP, they are in Diksha Bhumi.
And Maharashtra also.
And Maharashtra. Not all from Maharashtra. They have their own programs. They just say no, they want to come, but they have another programs like that. It is like avoiding. Huh?
No, my question is therefore, you are saying two very important things. One, that this emerging order of monks is at one level rejecting Ambedkar. Not I don't know.
Rejecting.
Is rejecting not a strong word?
Yeah, it is.
And it's happening, but
It's happening.
they're rejecting Ambedkar. Ambedkarite.
They say that Ambedkar was not in robe, so he is not of our level. Bhikkhus are at the highest level.
And the second thing they are doing is rejecting Bhikkunis, you are saying.
Yeah,
Because of the influence of Theravada from Myanmar.
yes.
So who accepts Bhikkunis? Where did you get your ordainment from? How did you manage to get?
Some bhikkhus are there. Those who are supportive, those who want to really follow Ambedkarism. Okay. So, they are there.
They are from
So,
Myanmar and
I'll come to that point where I'll talk about 67.
yes, please.
The first Bhikkhuni, Vishakha, she want to take robe.
This is in 67.
1967. Before that, 4 years, she struggled to no bhikkhu was ready to give the robe.
Vishakha.
Okay.
This lady's name is Vishakha.
Vishakha Bhikkhuni.
Where is she from and what was her
She
plan?
is from one village near Yavatmal.
Acha.
Okay. So,
Very passionate about the mission.
yeah, Ambedkarite mission. So, she took the robe. She convinced one bhikkhu. She got the robe. With her, another bhikkhuni got the robe. One Rupananda bhikkhuni is there from nearby Nagpur, Kanan. She said she struggled for almost 18 years to get the robes. She was behind Anand Kaushal line and he was not giving robe.
Who's Anand Kaushal?
But then Anand Kaushal line
Okay,
I
right.
talked about.
Okay, yes, okay.
And he was not ready to give. He was just, go to that bhikkhu, you know.
And this gentleman was in charge of Diksha Bhumi at that time?
Yeah.
So the
He
first
was.
person who was in charge of the Diksha Bhumi was a Brahmin
Yes, bhikkhu.
Bhikkhu of the Diksha Bhumi, you can say, is the center
Yes.
of the new revival.
Yes.
So in that center of the new revival, the first
He
bhikkhu-
was there.
He was the first.
Anand Kaushal line
What
was there.
how can you describe as a chief priest?
No,
head priest?
I can't say that, I don't know, but because many people were against him, there was a small vihar where he was staying and literally he was driven out of
Diksha Bhumi.
Diksha Bhumi.
But initially he was in charge.
He was there. No, we can't say in charge because committee was there.
Oh, committee is from 1957 itself?
Yeah.
56, 57.
56, yes.
Okay. So this person was a important figure in that Diksha Bhumi scheme of things, and
As a
eventually,
monk.
so while
As
he
a
was
monk.
there was a lot of resistance. You are saying to
Yes.
Bhikkhuni.
Yeah. He did not want women to have robes. So she has to struggle a lot. Now, after taking robes, it's a pabajja period. And they can become a bhikkhuni after they get the high ordination. So from 67 to 98, almost 30 years, they were not given high ordination by the...
What were they? They're common nuns. They were
Yeah.
just common nuns.
Yeah. Samneri, we say Samneri. They are not given that importance as the bhikkhus. Samneri, according to the Buddha's system of Sangha, Samneris are the students of learning Dhamma. And if after that, if they learn and they are ready to give or explain Dhamma to people, they become a bhikkhu or bhikkhuni. Or for that, they have to undergo some exams. Okay, and the Sangha give them a high ordination.
So that did not happen for 30 years.
30 years.
So Vishakha Bhante, can I call her Bhante?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Vishakha Bhante and one more Bhante whose name you said was?
Shilachara Rupananda.
They started in 1967.
Only Vishakha
Only
started.
Vishakha started in
Vishakha
67.
Bhikkhuni started in 67.
Okay.
Others came later.
But
Till 1998, there were 30 Bhikkhunis. More than that, we only know the name 30, a number. There were more than that. And when they went to Buddhagaya for high ordination, that program was organized by the Chinese Mahayana Bhikkhus.
not the Theravada.
No.
Now, आप बोल रहे थे, you were saying that in 1998, in Bodh Gaya, when the high ordainment was happening, it was not the Theravada monks who gave that ordainment, it was the Mahayana monks. And for me, this is very interesting, Bhanteji, if you'll allow me to say this. So, I've traveled a little bit in the parts of India where in the Himalayan region, the Mahayana strain has greater influence. The Tibetan Dalai Lama is a big figure. And I was very shocked to find a very strong caste system, a very strong feudal, organization. The society is organized on very feudal lines. I attended a literature festival in Ladakh. The main guest of that literature festival was a quote-unquote untouchable outcast woman. And when she was walking into the venue with all band baja and all of that, there was a big argument among the older men over there. क्या है? उनको झूले बोलना है कि नहीं? झूले झूले is a kind of a form of greeting in Leh Ladakh. And also it's like almost like an inshallah kind of thing कि आप कल आओगे? हाँ झूले झूले, which means yes. Okay. It could also mean आपसे मिल रहे हैं? हाँ इनसे मिलो, अच्छा झूले झूले. So that झूले जो बोलने का जो था, they were refusing or discussing कि भाई इनको बोलना है कि नहीं बोलना है because she's and this is something they will use to a common tourist also, they'll say झूले झूले. But a person of their own community, a woman who is also from an socially excluded community, is being treated like this. Now for me, therefore, I always imagine that Mahayana Buddhism has a great influence of, let's say, just scientific चीज़ों की बात करते हैं in Buddhism, that there's a lot of obscurantism, afterlife, all the Hindu gods and pantheon are mixed in this Tibetan thing. In spite of that, we see a certain, how do you put it, liberalism, a kind of openness to the women order. They are the ones finally, in 1998, they opened doors for women Bhikkunis. Is there a contradiction there? It is very interesting. Do you see this?
See, you are talking about only Tibetan culture.
Yes.
Okay.
Mahayana
is not a Tibetan culture as such. Mahayana culture, if you want to study, it is from the China. Okay, that is the main headquarter, we can say.
Not Tibet.
We can say, according to me.
Sure.
So, from China, the monks, they started program on this. Bhikkhuni Chiumen from Taiwan, she was leading. That report I told, no, I forgot to bring that book. Actually, she was the one who was preparing for this program. And they were not knowing that they were Bhikkhuni Samneris in India, women in robes. They were working for the Bhikkhunis in Sri Lanka and other
Oh, Sri Lanka
parts.
has Bhikkunis, but in spite
That
of all
time,
this,
yes, that time. But only Samneris, not,
in Sri Lanka.
yeah.
Acha, acha.
That is, as we had in India, they were in Sri Lanka. Samneris. They were also not given high ordination till then. The first high ordination program they had in 88
Where?
in Sri Lanka. In Buddha Gaya itself. They were not allowed in Sri Lanka.
Acha, acha.
As it is not allowed in India, in Burma, in Thailand, high ordination program was only in Buddha Gaya, where people of Mahayana, Theravada, Tibet, and everywhere they come there. Okay, the place where from the November month the foreigner starts coming there because it's cold weather at that time. So all foreigners are very comfortable in that month. So they come here. So till Feb they are there. So it was the program was organized in the February month of 1998.
88, before only you had said something happened?
That is Sri Lankan.
Acha.
For Sri Lanka, some bhikkhus
In Bodh Gaya itself.
yeah, but some bhikkhus from Sri Lanka who gave robes to the women in Sri Lanka, they initiated.
In Bodh Gaya.
Yes.
And it took 10 years of build up.
No, not 10 years.
80
Maybe they are from many time. We
Acha.
don't know. You must listen to the video of Bhikkhuni Kusuma from Sri Lanka. She just expired. And she gives the detail of how they struggle to just call them Bhikkhuni, you know.
The word over there is also Bhikkhuni in Sri Lanka.
Now no, they are not. It is not used. Here also it is not. We are the one. We are starting. We are Bhikkhunis.
Oh.
That word is also lost. Women in robes are called Ayya, Arya, Mata, everything, but not Bhikkhuni. Okay? So, in all the countries, only in India we are doing this. And now the Mahayani Bhikkhunis, they are more advanced than us now. From many years they are doing this work. We have alliance of Bhikkhunis at the world level. So, most of them are Tibetan Bhikkhunis there. Okay. So, it's there. So, that time, the main thing is, sometimes I feel that I'm always talking negative, But it's true. I can't avoid it. Indian bhikkhus were very, very against the Bhikkhuni high ordination in 1998. They had given even in writing.
And these are Ambedkarite
Yes.
people who have come from our tradition.
Yes.
From our Ambedkarite tradition.
Even one bhikkhu from Nepal, because Bhikkhuni chairman had given letters, she met with all the bhikkhus of India, Nepal, China, Sri Lanka and all. So, from China, she got some positive replies. They are happy that Bhikkhuni lineage will start again and all like that from many countries. But from India and Nepal, no. From Nepal, one bhikkhu had written, underlined in red line, that is against this, like that. So, Indian Samneris didn't knew about this program, that there would be a high ordination program. One bhikkhu was there who gave robes to women. He got to know about this program when he went to Buddha Gaya, and till that time the registration was full. But he said, you are doing it in Buddha Gaya, in India, and there are Samneris here. So why you are not taking? So that was taken into consideration. After registration also, 29 names were given there. And they went there. So because...
This must have been November of 1998.
Feb
of 1998.
Feb 1998. 24th Feb.
Oh, okay.
So when they went there, they were given the training of high ordination. And then they got the high ordination from this Mahayana bhikkhus. but they avoided their tradition. Some tradition they have to follow by putting they burn this place with 3 iron rods. It's burned here. So our Indian Samneris, they did not go through that process. But all question answers and exam and all, they had gone through it and they got the high ordination.
All 29 passed.
Yes. It is not like pass, but they did it, Now also we are doing it. They are not giving, no one is giving proper exams as such. But still we give because we want them to be in that system, We can't talk of proper education and proper exams.
Of course.
Otherwise, no one will come. So, when they return here, whole Bhikkhu Sangha was talking against them that they are Mahayanis. So, they should not be given the respect as Bhikkhunis.
And they are Mahayanis automatically also means some of the things I was saying earlier, which means wo Rama, Krishna, wo sab mante hain.
Not
What
Rama,
is
Krishna.
But what is the criticism of Mahayana among the Ambedkarite Buddhists?
They do all the puja part.
Puja part.
Okay, they use bodhisattvas and all the other avatars of Buddha, like that they have.
That's the
But
main criticism of Mahayana, you say.
You talk of Rama, the Theravada bhikkhus in Sri Lanka, in Buddha Gaya, you have Ramayana.
Oh, how?
It's all the drawings of the Ramayana is portrayed at murals in that vihar. And even it's a Sangha Sashan country, Thailand, still the king is given the name as Rama. Rama 1, Rama 2, Rama 3. Now it is Rama, I think 10th one. Rama 10th is there at present ruling the country.
How did this happen?
Because all Brahmins were outside, went to the Buddhist countries. So all Brahmanism has spread and was included in the Buddhist scripts, Buddhist literature, and the tradition of the Buddhist culture. This Brahmanism mixed up. So there is no clear idea. What he said, Gaurav said, that we don't have a proper culture. Why it is not so? Because it's all mixed up and in Buddhism also, as we say in Brahmanism, it is said that if you don't follow this, it will be a pap, In the same way it came in Buddhism. If you don't do this.
So sin and virtue is decided by rituals and...
Yes. Okay. Means, भिक्खु को आपने भोजन दान नहीं दिया तो अच्छा नहीं रहता है, देना चाहिए, वो पुण्य होता है, otherwise वो पाप में जाएगा. There are many things.
No, there are many things, but let me talk about a recent thing, which is an article that was written by a scholar who was also a student leader in JNU, who was the leader of this organization called BAPSA. Okay. Rahul Sonpimple. He wrote an article in Roundtable India recently talking about the 2 types of Buddhism, saying that there is one middle class or elite Buddhism among Ambedkarites who are second generation, which talks about the intellectual aspect, which talks about the almost atheistic and the non-ritual and the meditation aspect. And then there is the Buddhism of the common people, common Dalits who are still, financially behind, educationally behind, rural, and things like that. For them, there is a kind of they practice a different, more ritualistic, may not be necessarily a scientific Buddhism. And talking about how it is essential for them to hold on to even that, because they are literally in contest on the ground with the Hindus, with the Hindu religion and faith. So for them even to have that ritualistic practice, I hope I'm not wrongly summarizing what he wrote, but there is this view that there is an elitism when you talk about the rational aspect of it, How do you see that?
He is giving, according to you.
No, I hope I'm not like quoting him
Yeah.
wrongly, but
Yeah.
nevertheless, what I said on the basis of that, what do you?
Yeah. He is talking about the practically what he is seeing in the field. And it's correct. Okay? But is the intellectual or elite group working for Buddhism is wrong? Actually, the real work of this group is to bring them up, not leaving them behind to follow that what they are following from many years and keeping them in darkness. We say it is, I define it as a traditional and scientific. Buddha's teachings was scientific, and Buddha gave his teachings or his practices were against the superstitions, and traditional follows superstition. Okay, that time that tradition was there, he totally went against that traditions. Okay, so whoever, whether they are poor financially or socially, whatever it is, they have to be told, they have to be explained to come up of that situation. You can't blame that intellectual group or the ethical group or the rational group is not, means they are different. Yes, they are different, but the work of them, what is their work? Their work is to go to them and bring them up, to change their life. Otherwise, it's not Buddhism. Why the group should not be intellectual? That is another question. Buddha is called Buddha only because of the highest knowledge. Otherwise, he would have been Siddhartha only, known by Siddhartha, as Siddhartha Gautama. Why he is called Buddha? Because he gained that knowledge. He had that knowledge. You know? So, if a bhikkhu or bhikkhuni, they are gaining knowledge, and the knowledge of Dhamma, what Buddha has given, that is spread, don't we need this kind of group? The other thing is whether they are doing it properly or not, that is a question mark. If he is saying that they are different group and they are not doing this work, yes, then you are right. Because even the intellectual group or the elite group is not trained as if they should, they are not knowing their duties, what they should do. It is like, I got a mic, I am showing you the intelligence of me. I am telling you that I am intellectual. But what is the use, what I am speaking here? Is it changing you? Or is it making some halchal machana?
Is it shaking up?
Yeah, is it shaking you? It's making you realize that there should be some change in your mind. Now this intellectual group is just busy in showing their intelligence. Even in Bhikkhu and Bhikkhunis, they are reciting, chanting. But whether it is understood by the people, what change they have to do,
Right.
that has to be done.
We talk about the intellectual aspect being inseparable from the Buddhist practice. That the beginning of the Buddhist practice starts with buddhi. In repeated ways you've kind of brought up this basic theme. But how does it play out in the life of people is also a very important question. When you look at Buddhism as a culture, what does it mean in terms of birth, marriage, death? Because while there's an intellectual aspect, there is also the aspect that religion is needed as a cultural presence also in a person's life, in family life. And most often, even the people who are little distant from any religion, whichever they may be, Muslims, Christians, people who have gone little far from the religion, when it comes to birth, marriage and death, somehow everyone needs this thing. So where does Buddhism or what practice you follow, how does it come in to practice? This question of what happens during, what is the birth? Is there a birth ritual? Is there a death ritual? Is there a marriage ritual?
Actually, according to the Buddha's teachings, Buddha talks of every incidence in the life, which starts with the birth till the end of the life. It does not talk of anything before birth, and it does not talk of anything after death. Buddhism is limited from life to death. Okay? So every incidence taking place in this lifespan, it has been explained by Buddha. Everything has to be with, it is natural process, but as a human being, we have to have some disciplined way. Everything has to be in disciplined way, with planned way. So there was a system, it started at the time of Buddha, which is nowadays followed by people in another name. That is Paritran Pat. People say Paritran Pat. For any incidences that are taking place in the family.
Events, major events you mean? Birth, death, marriage.
I say incidents.
Acha.
And these incidences are celebrated. Okay, like birth, naming, going to school, and then the marriage, Every step of the life, it is being celebrated. And that celebration, when it comes to Buddhism, they say that Bhikkhu or Bhikkunis should come to their house and chant something.
What is that something?
Something means chant the suttas of Buddha. They don't know what they should chant. They don't know the meaning of that. They say Bhikkhu, Bhikkunis should come to their house and there should be a chanting. This will help us to protect our family. Protect from all the evil things or all the bad things which may happen in a family. We have to protect, and this will protect us. And this is called Paritran Pat nowadays. Actually, at the Buddha's time, this word was not used, because Paritran Pat is a Sanskrit word, not the Pali word.
What does it mean? Paritran means?
Paritran, if you go to the dictionary from Sanskrit, you'll find the meaning is protection. Raksha. And for protection, Pat means chant. Okay? Chant for the protection. It is very much different from what Buddha wanted to do. He says you have to protect yourself and you have to learn the techniques of protecting yourself. Chanting won't protect you. But Paritran Pat is there, and people chant without understanding what the Buddha wanted to say through his discourse. And they think that it is good enough for their life to be protected. But at the time of Buddha, people who met to Buddha on his way, because he was ascetic, he was wandering. So many people used to meet him on the way, especially the business community and the ascetics from the Brahmin communities. They used to meet. The business community were like they were the family members, and they were going traveling from one place to another, and on the way, if they see the bhikkhus or the Buddha, they started interacting with him, and they get to know what Buddha want to tell. So they felt very good. They were feeling very good listening to Buddha, and something came in their mind that why should we not take him to our house, so that the other family members can hear him and bring change in their life. So this way, the concept of Paritta Sutta came into practice.
Buddhist practice.
Yes. It is not Paritran Pat, it is Parita Sutta. Okay, it's a Pali word.
What
And-
does that word mean?
Yeah, I'm telling it. Paritran Pat is protection through chanting, and Parita Sut means the discourse of Buddha in very brief. Parita means brief and Sutta means the discourse.
Abridged. जिसको
Yes, yes. Because they were called at home in some or the other celebration in the house. They used to invite their family members, their relatives, their friend circle, and they used to invite for food, for bhojan dana. Now they invite for Paritran Pat and say, oh, we do not have any time for bhojan dana, so you come by 4 o'clock. That time they used to call for bhojan dana, and after bhojan dana they used to listen Buddha. See how it changed. So they were saying we have some celebration in our house, birthday or something like that. The Sangha, please come for bhojan dana to our house. And Buddha used to have, with the Sangha, he used to have that bhojan dana, and after that he used to give his teachings, his discourse to the people. So this Parita Sutta has totally changed. Through this Parita Sutta, he used to tell people how they can be happy in their life by working themselves, not depending on others. You know, it is on you. You have to work for yourself. Whatever you want, you have to work for yourself. And that working is from birth to death. Okay? No one knows what happened before your birth, who were you were born earlier or not. And after death, what will happen to you, you don't know. So, he talked on this part. And through that, people used to get a good knowledge of Dhamma, and they change their life.
But
Yes.
when you are invited, so if I were to invite you, let's say for a birth, or if there is a wedding, if I were to invite you, what can we expect? What will happen?
Yeah, if we tell them already, like, if you want us, we'll give you the discourse. If you have time, we'll chant and explain it. If you don't have time, we won't chant.
Oh, acha. If you don't have time, you would rather explain, chanting बाद में. हाँ.
Because everyone knows, at least in Nagpur, in Maharashtra, every people know how to chant. Those are Buddhists. They know all Pali chantings, all the suttas, all the gathas.
This is only in Nagpur or across Maharashtra, Vidarbha?
Across Maharashtra.
The Ambedkarite Buddhists know that much cultural advancement has happened, you're saying.
That happened. Even, the illiterate, like women come to us, the girls come to us to take robes or with some problems or something like that. We say, okay, we would be giving robe. What do you want? What idea do you have? They say, oh, I know all the suttas and gathas, I can do Paritran Pat. So you can give me robe. This is what.
And you don't. You will take some more
I
time.
said, no,
not
like this. That is a very good quality in you. You know everything. But now you will have to understand that. Okay? And education is must that you have to take. So very few families are there who call us.
Because you're not doing mass.
Yeah. Very few. But those who understand, and what they do, they call children's from the family, all children. So the youth are there in a Parita Sutta program. Because they understand that we tell them how to develop their life, in future. Regarding the education, regarding the career and all.
Okay.
So through Buddhism, we explain all these things. We explain the meaning of why, regarding, like, if it's a birthday. So what is the meaning of life? The birth.
Birth.
Okay, we explain that. Then how it should be changed till the next birthday.
Right.
What is the process? It should not be like this. This birthday we are celebrating and I am this. There should be some change in your life. There should be some development in your life. Many people call us when the woman is pregnant. So how they should be happy in that period of pregnancy. How they should go through the books and all. How they should meditate for themselves.
So
This kind of things.
You have worked with.
Yeah,
such...
we always do this kind of if people call us.
What about death? It's a very difficult time. Na?
Yes.
So some people bury, some people burn, some people when they bury, there is a certain position in which the body is placed. When they burn, there is different rituals around that. What happens here?
Here mostly they burn it. And the worst thing is that after burning, they take the ashes and bones to the river and that is the worst thing I'm saying.
Why?
Because they're polluting water.
And the air also.
No, not air we can say.
Burning
का है. But nowadays that electricity has
तो
come.
आपको क्या लगता है burn करना चाहिए, bury करना चाहिए?
Bury is good. Burying is
There is
good.
no such thing in Buddhism कि क्या करना है?
Actually, this burning came into existence, means this ritual of burning came into existence because of the lack of land.
But
for burning, we need land.
But I know that. But the thing is, if you will find it very strange, I don't know if it's the case in North India. In South India, among the umbrella category of Hindu, let's not get into who is Hindu, all that.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
In the umbrella category of Hindu, those who fall under the lowered communities, SC, certain lower OBCs, they all bury. Brahmins invariably burn. This is something which I find, I don't know what the origin of it is, but just in terms of the tradition, lower caste people bury. And upper caste people always want to burn. And Agni, ye sab bahut kuch unka, they have some attachment to that fire concept and,
Yes.
to create ash out of the body and this, that. So please explain, can you little bit focus on this? What does it?
Yes, according to the Hindu rituals, at the time of Buddha also, there was the Vedic culture. And Vedic cultures were followed by the Brahmins. And according to them, there was a burning system to burn the body. What they say, that Buddha's rituals, the funeral, also was done under that process, by burning.
Burning.
So, Buddhist people do accept that. Because Buddha was burned. Buddha's body was burned. So, it is in Buddhism, they say. Okay? And especially the SC/STs, still in many places, they don't have land. Even to burn. What do you think of for burying it? They don't allow even to burn in that place where the dead
जो
bodies
घाट
are
होता है,
burned.
हाँ.
Ghat. They do.
Although our people only are doing that stuff in those ghats. जो काम करने वाले होते हैं, the people who are working in the ghats
Yes, but they are not. The dead
whereas-
bodies are not allowed inside for that. In Nagpur it's okay, but many places, especially in Rajasthan, MP and all, there most of the villages are there that they are still not allowed.
Okay.
So they think the easiest way to burn somewhere.
Yeah.
And Hindus burning the dead body, it nowadays, like we find, many of them prefer to just take the body and throw it in the river. Half burn also.
I've seen this. Yeah.
They throw it, in the north.
Banaras, Calcutta is full of.
Banaras and all. They don't burn it fully.
Yeah, no, half bodies are floating everywhere. Yeah.
Everywhere. Okay, so this is one kind. Actually, they think of purifying the dead bodies.
With fire.
With fire and water. Okay, that is the concept.
Yeah.
And they say, even when they are alive, they say, if you're doing any sin, you go to Ganga and bath. Take a bath.
या तो अग्नि परीक्षा की बात करते हैं या फिर गंगा नहाने का बात करते हैं नहीं. हाँ.
So when you are alive, Ganga Snan. Okay, you go there, all sin will be washed away. And after death, some remaining are there, then you put it in water. The remaining sin will go. This is what the concept is.
But what do you think about burial? What do you think about burial? Burying.
I think it has to be there. Burying should be there. Because it's all a decomposition of the body.
That's what, yeah.
Yeah. So, but it's not there. No land is there to bury. Like we have in Christianity and Muslim, they have special lands. No.
So right now in Nagpur,
Hindus
in
we don't
Maharashtra...
have. In Buddhists also don't have.
So right now in Nagpur, Maharashtra, the Ambedkarite Buddhists are burning basically, mostly.
Yes.
And traditionally among the Mahar community, I will assume that the largest part of the Buddhist congregation in Maharashtra is Mahar.
Yes.
Traditionally Mahars used to bury or to burn?
Burn. Because they were considered themselves as Hindus, no? They considered themselves as
so this
Hindus.
is different from the south then, because in the south, Dalits are burying only.
Okay, yeah, no.
Okay.
It's not like that.
But you would recommend, you're saying?
Burying. So what we say now, no one will listen. Because they say Buddha was burned after his death. So that is our culture. But we tell them, okay, Buddha's ashes were not thrown in the river.
Right.
So there are stupas. They constructed the stupas on the ashes. For that also we need land. So it's better to spread the ashes in forest. And if you have bones, you have a tree on it. This year I started with my father's in 2018. I had to face a lot of the family members who were against me. But because I am in Rome and I am the eldest one in the family, they were not able to go against me. But I did that.
What did you do?
I did not put the ashes in the water. I took it in the forest. And we have
But you could not stop the burning.
That was not where to keep it. Even the family members did not allow to put the ash, that bones, in the family land. They didn't allow. So bones are not allowed. How they will allow to bury that body? Because we have small piece of land. And all are afraid if we bury the bones, even we bury the bones and have a plant there, they are afraid about the ghost, like Atma aa jayegi aur ye ho jayega.
Right.
My elder brother, cousin, he opposed a lot for this burying the ash and
he's
bones.
a proper Ambedkarite Buddhist.
Proper means, okay, there is no other option saying that I am a Buddhist and I am Ambedkarite. In Nagpur at least.
Right.
No other option. Even they don't know anything about Buddha and Baba Sahib Ambedkar, they will say, I am Buddhist, I am Ambedkarite Buddhist. Okay? And we say that you are Mahar still. You have not changed. Just changing the name is not enough.
No, but Bhanteji, I mean, if you consider where the community was before, right?
Yeah.
The fact that they identify as Buddhist, I mean, you may... Definitely, I mean, this question comes up, again in Christianity also. The biggest, it's like a joke which is also a metaphor, saying, are you a good Christian? Okay, what does that mean comes the question immediately. Yeah. And in this case, the fact that you're identifying as Buddhist as opposed to something else, the fact that you're identifying yourself as different from what has been given to you as your identity, is that not important?
It is important. But accepting fully as a Buddhist have some other impact on people. We have to tell them. Like what we said earlier, no. You have to be identified as Buddhist through your behavior. There are many examples I can quote. One example I'll quote you. When we go to the slums, and we find that they are fighting with each other, the other people will say, Jai Bhim wale ashes astat.
Bole to Jai Bhim people are like this only.
Yeah. So that's the impact. And we don't want that. We'll find people who are very drunken, They won't remember Jai Bhim when they are nice, when they are not drunken. They'll go, Bhante ji Jai Bhim. We have to change this. So we directly say, don't say Jai Bhim now. You be in a good state first, then you say Jai Bhim. So, two types it is, If they are ready to understand, we explain them that way. It's a duty. I think it's my duty, at least, that I should make them understand by saying, don't call yourself Buddhist unless you do this.
And what is the basic things you have to do?
You have to follow at least the Panchashil.
Which is what?
Okay. You want to know?
Yes, why not? In a short.
Yeah.
What was the word you used? You said no. The short form of when they call for rituals. There is a Brahmin form.
Paritta Sutta.
Paritta Sutta.
Yes.
Panchashil.
Panchashil is the precepts, the 5 precepts. That is, people say that I won't do any violence. That is first. But I never say that. I say, just say that you will not quarrel and fight. Start from there. If you not quarrel and fight in your family, you will change yourself. So, that first thing I explain them. The second one is like, people say, I will not steal. That is the last stage. I say, I will not touch others' thing without anyone's permission, whether it's a family member or not. Because even if your brothers, sisters things you take, and if they don't find it at proper place, they will quarrel with you. So it is not stealing. It is not stealing. But just to trouble your brothers and sister, it's not like a very big thing. Maybe just to make a fun of it, you do it, but it hurts and it may end to quarrel. It may end to fighting.
So don't take somebody else's, the second thing.
Yes,
okay.
The second thing. And the third thing, they always take it as sexual misconduct. I never take it that way.
Yeah, actually there's a lot of talk about that in every religion. We talked earlier about Christianity, how the original sin is connected to sexuality. And in different religions, they're very, very weird about sexuality. What is your take on it?
But here it is not talking about sexual misconduct. Because even a small child has to say, Kame sumicha chara veramani sikha padang samadhyami. Is he doing that? Then how that meaning suits them? I will not do any sexual misconduct. I will be very good to my life partner, like wife with husband and husband will wife, won't have any sexual relation outside this relationship. So is it suitable for a child? But that Kame Sumichara, we ask the small child to recite. So there should be other meaning of it.
What is it?
So then I explain that. Because no one is ready to accept her.
Sure, I can understand,
Yeah. So I tell them, okay, that differences you tell the children, you are a girl, you are a boy. Before there is a changes in your body, you put that in the mind, You are different and she is different. There are many things going on from the birth. A girl child is born, people bring frock. Okay.
Pink color.
Pink.
Boy ke liye blue color.
If a boy child is there, you bring pant, like that. So there are many things. I don't think this is the proper place to explain all these things.
But I suppose at some level you're talking about gender binary.
Yes.
And you say that the first wrong thing to do is to create that binary.
Yeah, but what it leads to, that I'm telling you. It leads to teasing. See, the sexual harassment, or we can say the rape thing, if you go to the highest level, it starts with the teasing, thinking that you are from another gender. That point comes here. Because you are a girl, you have to be like that and you have to listen what I say. Even as a brother and sister, that dominancy is there, It's not sexually.
It's sexuality. It's gender and sexuality. That's the framework in which you're speaking.
Yes. And why that is taken here as an example? Example is many things. Like Kame Sumicha means your desire. It's not only regarding the sex. It's not only regarding the sexuality. Desire for anything and you accept any way whether it is right or wrong. You just, I want that, So that thing is there. I don't have to go through that path which will fulfill my desire, but that path is wrong.
So that's the third precept.
That is the third precept. And it goes to men and women specially, because for the desire, many crimes are being done, like affairs and all this.
So I see that in every one of these things, you are not giving any formulas. You are literally opening up a conversation under each precept.
Yes.
That is, am I right? And so when you talk about it being a pursuit of knowledge and intellectual movement, each thing is not a formula as much as it's a conversation.
Actually, Buddha never defined anything. Buddha was open, because definition suits for some situation. When we go to, when we study science, there is a definition for everything. Buddha's teaching is not confined to definition. It is open. It may change according to the situation, according to the need, so it can't be defined as such.
So the fourth and the fifth precepts are how? What do you deal with?
Fourth one is it's on your speaking part, Poi sorle Martin.
Tamil. Poi solla maata. Thank you. Okay. A little bit of Tamil also. Okay. Actually,
I translated, I told you.
Yes.
Okay. So, not speaking lie. And I added, I will not use abusive words, which is missing. But when I went through Babasaheb Ambedkar books, I was happy to see Babasaheb also said the same thing.
Right.
He has written that that abusive words should not be used.
And abusive words also tend to be most often genderized, no?
Yeah, that's very true. Only women.
कोई बाप की गाली नहीं देता कोई भी.
कोई भी नहीं देता है. And that too, they are abusing without understanding the meaning. I would say they don't understand that they are speaking in English. They are abusing. The word mother is used as mother. It's an English word. But mother is there. And they are not understanding what they are using. That kind of thing is there. So, using that abusive word will always lead you to quarrel and fight. All these 5 precepts.
The fifth
the
one
first
being?
One is the important.
The fifth one being?
Fifth one is about the intoxicants.
Achha.
And I never say I will not take intoxicants. I always say, just say yourself, I will not have liquor. मैं शराब नहीं पीऊंगा. Direct. मैं शराब नहीं पीऊंगा, मैं पान सुपारी नहीं खाऊंगा, मैं सिगरेट बीड़ी नहीं पीऊंगा. When I ask them to say this, the people who are doing this, they keep mum.
So you're saying once in a while having a social drink is not a Buddhist thing to do?
Obviously not.
So drinking is completely banned?
Yes. Because already your mind is animal mind. If you're a little bit intellectual, using your mind, taking intoxicants means again going to the animal mind. You fall down in a gutter and think that you are sleeping in.
But as an extension of the same thing, I've also heard people talk about non-vegetarian. A lot of people in Maharashtra are vegetarian in the Ambedkarite Buddhist, they're vegetarian. What do you think about that?
Actually, the food part. Buddhism never talks on food, which food to take. Because it depends on the nature, what you get it, what is grown there, what is available there.
Cows are available here, but people are not eating.
It also depends on the weather.
Please tell me more. I'm interested to know. What is this vegetarianism among Mahar Buddhists?
They used to eat beef here in Maharashtra. In most of the untouchables, especially economically poor, untouchables are economically poor. We always say economically poor, but we miss that word untouchables. Nowadays that poor thing is being highlighted. But the main thing is the untouchability.
The caste aspect and the class aspect.
Yes. So it was like untouchables were not allowed to have land. They were not having any source of food.
Growing agriculture and
agriculture and all. So they were fully dependent on the animals, which they were taking care of, especially the goats and hen.
pastoral kind of.
Cows and all, they were not having with them. Bull and cow, they were not having, because it was very for the rich people used to have them. Because those who are having land, they will have the
Cattle.
okay? But poor people won't. Even problem of staying, of house. So it was the hen. The first thing was the hen. They used to have hen in their house. And a little bit good, economically good people, they would have the goats. And for celebrations, they would have that. Like Muslims do, no? They bring goat, they take care of that goat, and after in the Eid, they use it as a mutton. In the same way, these people used to do it.
Shepherd communities are touchable communities.
Yes. So they used to have that. And it was a celebration. When they want to celebrate, they used to have chicken or mutton. So it's a part of life. There, for the energy, they needed it. And there is Gandha Sutta in Buddha. Buddha's teachings. It's explained in Buddha and his Dhamma.
Acha.
It is there. Gandha Sutta. Where many people, like mostly the Brahmins, that time with Buddha in the Sangha, there were many Brahmins. Maybe more than 75 to 80% were Brahmins. So they used to say that eating flesh or having non-veg will change it's not good in Buddhism. And Buddha used to say, okay, you don't eat flesh or you don't eat meat or non-veg. Will it change your behavior?
Yeah. That's something that they often say, tamasic food and sattvic food.
But does it change? Brahmins say that they don't eat non-veg, but they are the one who are treating us inhumanly. Okay? In the name of religion, rituals. So they should not know. So Buddha's teachings about non-veg is not there like that. Only one or two suttas are there, where he explains that eating is only for energy. That's why we see Buddha with a bowl.
Whatever you put in that bowl?
Whatever, no. Food.
Food. Food items.
Food item. Now why I am insisting on this word? Because many of the Bhikkhu and Bhikkhunis, they are taking bowl to collect the arthadana, the money. And when we go for food charika, people put the soap. Soap also they give there. Then we say them, see what is inside. Why are you putting soap here? So many misconceptions and many other things are there. They say Bhiksha Patra. Bhiksha means begging. Buddha never say use the Bhiksha Patra. Buddha says it's a Bhojan Patra.
Oh.
We are using the word Bhiksha Patra means whatever you get in Bhiksha. No, that is not correct. It is Bhojan Patra which is to be used only to eat the cooked food. This also we have to tell them. When we take the camps, Samneri camps, we do this kind of thing and we have to, I never carry that bowl, Everyone carries. I am there to explain the people. Tell them, this is only Bhojan Patra. Even Bhikkhu, Bhikkhunis use this word Bhiksha Patra. And they, at the end of the program, they keep the bowl there and they say, put money here. Dana. That's not the proper way, the proper use of that bowl. Buddha didn't use that for it. Okay?
This bowl that you mentioned, in terms of the optics, how the faith appears to people on the outside, some of these things like the bowl are very essential in terms of visual aesthetics of Buddhism, the bowl. At the same time, another thing that is easily associated with Buddhists is this concept of meditation. Right? This Ajkal, there's a lot of different types of meditation that is happening. People, they go for Vipassana also. They go for this mindfulness training thing also. I went to Nagalok. Yeah, Triratna. That's the Triratna, this thing. I don't know what the Triratna thing is. So if you can talk about that also. Where does meditation fit into everything? What is meditation?
Actually, you will again have to go to Buddha and his Dhamma then.
Please tell me. Okay.
In Buddha and his Dhamma, it is explained how Siddhartha left the place of the palace and how he went out and to whom he met after taking robes. He took robes and at the Anoma river, and after that he left. I don't know whether I'm using the proper word Anoma river. Okay.
Doesn't matter, huh?
He goes and he has in his mind to meet different ascetics who have with meditation, school of thoughts, different school of thoughts. So he want to meet them. So first he meets the Alar Kalam. Bhrigu Rishi. Bhrigu Rishi is an ascetic who does all kind of meditation which is very hard for the body. Very harsh. Not hard, but we can say harsh. Like standing on one leg or upside down or in the water or not eating food for a few days like that. This kind. And he asked them. See, this kind of things are not explained. While reading also we don't understand. We only know that he went there. But what was the question asked to Bhrigu Rishi by Siddhartha? That is main. He asked them, why are you doing this kind of activities? And he says, because I want moksha. We want to go for moksha.
Nirvana.
Not nirvana. Here again.
Oh, these are two different.
It's very much different. Moksha is after death. Nirvana is not after death. Okay, topic will change.
Okay. No. Sorry to digress. Okay.
Okay. So moksha. And Buddha says, Siddhartha says, I don't want to learn. I don't want moksha. I want to know the answers to my questions which is bothering me regarding why there is a war. Why people are quarreling with each other. Why they don't live friendly with each other. Why there is an hatred. He gave that word suffering. But because he left that because of the war. That river, Rohini river. He has to leave. So he had why people are not understanding that war is not the solution for peace. He wanted that answer. He did not want how to go for moksha. So in this way he met with different teachers, we can say, the rishis of that time.
To test his own theory, maybe.
He wanted answers, not test. He wanted answers. He thought he will give me answer.
Achha.
He will give me answer. But he did not get any answer from anyone. Yes, but he learned the meditation from everyone. What we see in Vipassana now, about the breathing and all, it was already there, and Vipassana they say that Buddha invited this.
Invented. Huh.
Invented this, sorry. Buddha invented. But it was not invented by Buddha or Siddhartha. It was the culture of India. The many things, meditation were starting from the breathing process. They used to control the breath. There was a concept, they say that if the number of breath you control, you do not take, it will make that your life will be like...
That many breaths will be added to your life.
Added to your life. You won't die. But who knows what my life, till what time I will be alive. No one knew that. So there is pranayam and everything. Different types of meditations are there. He practiced everything. Siddhartha practiced everything with them. He stayed with them. He practiced. But what his real meditation was very much different, which is not in Vipassana. At the end of Vipassana, maybe in the higher stage, they must be explaining that. I can't say because I have not done it. The starting I have done it, I know. That was not the Siddhartha's thing.
Do you train people in meditation? Do you do meditation? Yeah.
Vipassana is very good for an individual development. Okay.
So Bhanteji, after a lot of some technical trouble, we are back to the last segment now, and where I want to, not rapid fire, but some quick questions, some general knowledge questions I wanted you to probably answer. Now, a lot of the things you said, obviously, from womanhood to self-realization
Sentient being.
to a sentient being, from
Transformation of womanhood to sentient being.
sentient being, and that is your motto at the Bhikkhuni Sangha.
Yeah.
Now, would you call yourself a feminist?
No. It is
Do you agree with feminists? Do you sympathize with feminists?
actually, I have a different concept for feminism. As I say, Buddha is the biggest feminist. Why? Because he is very much sensitized enough towards the women rights. He says that men and women are equal. That is gender equality when he talks about. So, bringing the women at the level of men in every aspects is feminism. But the feminism what we know or the general public know is that feminism want to behave like men, like
Not necessarily, no.
yeah,
There are many types of feminism.
many types, yes, but
There have been
some
waves of feminism.
two important feminism type which is general public knows.
Right.
See, I have been
For example, can we take some feminist positions? Let's say the right to life. This question, no, life versus right to abort.
I'll come to that.
Yes.
But I want to give an example which I experienced myself. Whenever I talk about women's right in Buddhism, that how they have been discriminated even though they follow Buddhism, the Buddhist education, even they follow Baba Sahib, but still how women is discriminated. When I talk of it, we are called feminist. That means the thing that we want to dominate men. Means talking about women rights is feminism according to them. That is one aspect. The other aspect I can say that which I met with a group of feminist people when I was working in Delhi. That time I found that all the feminist women, especially those who are working as feminists, they were showing the appearance. Through appearance, they wanted to show that they are women. Means it was like, yes, we are using this kind of, having this kind of appearances like big bindi and ornaments, little bit ornaments, but big one. They don't have more ornaments, they don't use it. Jewelries and all, they don't use it. But whatever they use, it is like very big. Means you are attracted towards that, So that is the, it looks like they are proud to show that they are women. The other group I found that they want to take or behave like men, where like taking drinks and also smoking. Even going for a walk at night, midnight. I was with them because I wanted to know what they are doing. In Delhi, I also walked with them at midnight. So that was like, oh, why only men can stand at the pan thelas and have pan and smoke? We can also do. We are not afraid of anyone. We are women, still we are not afraid of anyone. We can also walk in a group, or if time permits, or if such time comes, alone also we can walk at night, like that. One group I found in Nagpur itself, in Holi festival, they used to drive the bicycles like the boys do, They go on nowadays they go by bike, just shouting loudly and making noise, full with colors and all. So I found girls and women following feminism, and that too lefties, we can say the word that was used at that time, communist people. The women of that group, they used to take cycle in and roam around like boys. People, general public, don't want boys to travel like that. But these girls were saying, only they can do it, we can also go. So it is like comparison, They used to compare. They wanted to be like men in all the field, or they want to show that even though they are women, they can do anything what men can do. This was like that. But here, according to Buddha, Buddha says he compares with the intelligence. What not only a man can have intelligent, men can be intelligent, but women can also be intelligent, which way women were not allowed. So he give that space and opportunity for the women.
Intellectual equality, but not...
Intellectual equality. Okay? The freedom. Not the freedom to do all the things which men do, which is not required. But the thing which is required, which is legal, we can say the word we can use. The legal things. The freedom to do the legal. As we say, that the Constitution has given the right to freedom. But with the freedom, he has given some restrictions. They are there. But that restrictions are not only for women. That restrictions are for men and women both. Such kind of equality, such kind of freedom, it was given by the Buddha and Baba Saheb Ambedkar, we can say. So feminism is not dominating men or being proud to be a women. What naturally they are, yes, they are. But you don't have to show off. Be a human being. And to come to that level, not only the women has to come to become a human being, they require less effort. If we go in proper procedure, women can become a good human being. In the same way, men has to take more effort to become a good human being. So we can't say feminism. This feminism is also which leads to humanity is a good feminism. And that was given by Buddha. I think so.
Okay. Quick reaction. Firstly, some of the ways in which you identified feminists, a lot of feminists who we meet would probably have a problem with, that description of feminism. But let me give you certain issues and maybe you could respond one by one. For instance, in your case, you have given Diksha to male monks like
Yes.
Bhante Maurya. Now, that is something that is frowned upon, saying that only a male bhikkhu can ordain a male bhikkhu and a female bhikkhu can ordain a female bhikkhu. So in this kind of a thing where you're trying to assert a certain kind of role reversal, let's say, do you see it as a feminist cause? Do you see it as a Buddhist cause? Do you see it as a thing that is unnecessarily a controversy? How do you see it?
I think it is unnecessary controversy. Because as a women can give birth to a child. That is the natural, physical, biological term we use for that, giving birth. But in Buddhism, it is like we can say that no one is born as a Buddhist. We have to become Buddhist. So, it is not giving birth. It is developing them as a Buddhist. And women can do it in much better way.
But is the reverse possible? Which is, can a male monk ordain a female nun?
It is in practice.
It is in practice already.
It is already in practice.
And that is not rarely a controversy, you are saying.
It is not. No one say that it is. But there are many other ways which are being talked of. Like when that is because we Bhikkunis know about that. General public does not know that Bhikkunis, if a women, if they get ordained by a bhikkhu, they does not go against their views. They are not free to take their own decision.
Can somebody who is gender non-binary be ordained as a bhikkhuni or a bhikkhu?
Yes, some are coming, but not yet.
It has happened?
They are coming. they are asking for it. And we are very much ready for that.
Very interesting. Okay.
Yes.
When you say we, you mean the Bhikkhuni Sangha.
Yeah.
You are very much in favor.
Yeah, I am in favor. Because I always say, no, for intelligence, the genital parts are not important. It is the brain. Okay? And it is with every human being of whatever sex they belong to. Yes, I heard one from Nasik. She had taken robes for 10 days. I know her. And I don't know whether the one who gave them the robes know this.
Right.
I don't know that.
Okay.
But when I got to know about this, is her activities and all, I found that she is that one. But she is a very good Buddhist.
That's what matters, because
That
she's
is-
an intellectual person.
Yes.
She is
She
working
is
for the
following
Sangha.
everything.
Her agitation for
She
for
is
the
not
better.
in robes now.
Mhm.
Her activities are like as a social activities. She is into it.
Which
And-
anyway you say Buddhism is a human rights activity.
Yes.
Okay. So my next question, again, to push home that feminist line. So the abortion rights question, right? It is right now there was a Supreme Court case also where a woman was mentally very disturbed and she had pleaded for abortion after some 27 weeks of the pregnancy. Do you have any position on abortion rights? Because it's a major feminist issue right now as we speak in the news.
Actually, according to the law which are made under the Constitution of India, there is a right in the rights which we have, no fundamental rights. There is one right, constitutional remedies. Under that, we can say if the laws which are made in the parliament, which are passed, the bill or the act which is passed in the parliament, if they are against the fundamental rights according to the constitution, we can challenge them under the constitutional remedies. Okay. So here it is from the starting itself, women has a right to take her own decision to have the pregnancy or not.
And this I ask you as a religious person, although you resist the title of a religious person, but let's assume for the common person, Buddhism is still a religion. The reason I ask you this from that perspective is because many religious leaders have weighed upon this subject and have come to very different conclusions. They say that there is a life that is getting destroyed and that fetus is a life. So, as a Buddhist intellectual, how would you respond to such things?
I should say that for a fetus which has not taken birth, having life, it's okay. But for that, a living person has to suffer. That is not good. Okay? For a fetus who does not have anything,
I'm sure a lot of feminists will be very happy with what you said, although you don't identify as a feminist.
Yeah.
But that's a very...
Actually, because it is human, it is Buddha's words, it is said, Bahujana hitaya, Bahujana sukhaya. Means for the majority of the people we have to think. So the majority of women, we can't put their rights in such kind of situation that they have to give up everything only for the fetus who has not come into the taken birth and who have not come into the world, and that is individual thing. That individual part is affecting the whole lot of women population. So we have to think about the majority of it. It is for the Bahujan Hitai, according to the Buddha.
So again about Bahujan women, let's say, for
Yes.
a large majority of women, there was another very significant movement. I'm sure you would have also heard about it, the Me Too movement.
Yes.
What do you think about the Me Too movement?
Me Too movement is like, I think it is expressing their feelings, what was the victimized feeling, what hurt them. See, according to the Indian society, if a woman tells that they are victim, somebody has sexually exploited them, the burden is on the women. The one who is a culprit, who is harassing, who is exploiting, is not answerable. The women has to. But this Me Too movement has given that strength to women to say we are not to answer these questions. We are not answerable for this act because it has been, we are victim. We can face whatever it has been done to us, but we don't want the culprit to repeat this kind of criminal things again and again. And because of this, it has, I think, I don't know what it gave impact to the criminal people, the rapist or the people who had sexually exploited them. But one thing I know, it has given strength to the women to open themselves, and freely they opened themselves and told about what had happened to them. So it's a kind of like they want to live freely. They don't want to be suppressed by anyone. So I think this movement was good.
And another question I wanted to ask you for a long time is about the order of monks and bhikkhunis and bhikkhus. Is celibacy a must? Are all Buddhist monks celibate? How does it?
See, the bhikkhus and bhikkhunis, they are given some set of rules to be followed. When they take the robes, there are 10 shield, like Panchashil. There are 10 shields, where from the Panchashil, the third one is changed. The third one is Kame Sumichachara. It is for the people living in household people, where they are said that they can have a sexual relationship with their life partners. It changes when it is given, when the pabaja is given to male and female as to become a bhikkhu or bhikkhuni. So that time it is said, Brahmacharya Veramani Sikkapatang Samadhyami. So it is like they have to follow the Brahmacharya. Now, following Brahmacharya, we'll have to understand what it is. Then it is like we have to understand the concept of the Brahminical culture, where Brahmacharya Ashram. No, yes, it is that.
Brahmacharya Ashram, yes.
Brahmacharya Ashram.
Yes.
Charya word is there.
हाँ, Brahmacharya.
Brahmacharya. ये पालिका है Brahmacharya. I am confused a bit.
But celibacy as a station in life.
Yeah.
Celibacy as a station in life.
Yes. So anyway, this word is promoted by the Brahmin culture to make the children study in Gurukuls. And that period is from 7th year to the 20th year of the age. So at this time, it is a very crucial age, that is the teenage. It includes the teenage, where there is changes in the body of girl and boy. So at that time, they get attracted towards each other. And so, because of that attraction and the forceful, what we can say, the forceful effect they have within the body, that kind of thing. They wanted to...
The instinct.
Yeah, they wanted to meet each other and see what happens in the body, They wanted that. They want to know what it is. This thing divert their mind from the studying part, from the education. So, it is a compulsory following of Brahmacharya, that is celibacy, for the students who are in Gurukul. And the same thing Buddha said, because Buddha's teachings, Dhamma are the teachings of Buddha. And to know that, one has to get out of that attraction. So we have to understand each and everyone as a human. We have to treat each and everyone as human being. So not as a man or woman. Because if we think of that, means you have different kind of attraction. That is natural. But that natural thing can also be avoided if you are able to control your mind. You have to focus on the
And a bhikkhu or a bhikkhuni has to
follow it. Yes, the celibacy
To control
part,
their
to
mind.
control their mind.
You think it
It's-
is not possible to control your mind when you are in a familial kind of a setup or in a relationship?
Still they can, but the society does not allow them to do it. Society is forcing, if his son is getting older, they pressurize him to get married. They pressurize the daughter to get married. In that way, they are forced to do it, and they want the generation, it should.
No,
Go
I
on.
mean in the case of bhikkhus and bhikkhunis, you are saying that it is a distraction to be part of family life, to be part of,
Yes,
to be sexually active.
yeah.
Why
Actually,
do you say?
because if you are sexually active means you have to follow some responsibility towards them. If you have children, or if you have some relation with the other gender or whatever it is, that means you have some expectations from each other.
So in your case, for example, I mean, you have a son, right? And can you talk about that journey? I mean, you chose to have a family first and then you gave up.
Actually, I didn't wanted a family first.
Acha. Okay.
I did not want to get married. Whatever it is, I don't want to go into it in detail.
No need, absolutely.
Yes.
Yes.
But yes, I have a son, and it did not distract me from my social work. But yes, I was not able to give my best for the society. Therefore, when my son was 12 years old, I took the robes.
And how did he react to it? How did your relationship develop after that?
For that, I had a strategy. When he was 7 years old, I started working in the field, leaving him with his father. His father was very much attached to him.
Which is a good thing. Of course.
Yeah. So that was a positive part in my life. And I was not into family course like doing cooking and all. From the childhood, I did not do it. My case is very much different. I never did in my parents' house. I never did after also. He was only doing everything, even cleaning and everything. Clothes, utensils, house, everything. Taking care of him. I didn't take care of him. Okay? So it was very easy for me, and it was easy for him because he wanted his son to live with him. So it was not a problem, and he knew that I did not want family. He already knew, and most of my family members, my parents' side and also my friends and all, everyone know I can't live a family life. Okay? Interesting part I can tell you. I wanted to go for Christianity to become a nun.
Okay. Interesting.
I tried that because my education is from the Christian school. So I was very much impressed by the behavior, how they
Of the
speak,
Christian nuns.
the discipline and all. So I needed that. I wanted to become that. But when I went to them and asked, they said, no, you have a son, you can't be a nun now.
Oh.
Okay. So already
And here what happened? Here though you could not be a bhikkhuni only. According to some people though you cannot be a bhikkhuni only. Forget.
that is different thing. Christianity is a religion. Buddhism is also a religion, but we have that constitution part and we have that right to say
You
no.
can define it.
You can define it. We can't say to them, we can't say in Christianity, no, I have a right to become, because they have their own set of rules. Here there is set of rules, but Buddha's teachings and the rules are so flexible that it can be changed according to the
But
situation.
for that change also you had to start your own order.
Yes.
So जहाँ आप खड़े हो गए लाइन वहाँ से शुरू हो गया.
Yes. No, but already in Buddhism, we knew that Siddhartha was married, he had a son, and after that he became he took Pabajja and then he became a Buddha. And we have many examples at the time of Buddha how the Bhikkhu and Bhikkhuni had their family life earlier. That example we knew already. So it was not like that I have to struggle a lot for that. Struggling was for the identity of Bhikkhunis. not to become a bhikkhuni. We want to tell that there is a bhikkhuni have their own identity. They can do the work what bhikkhus do. So we should be given that equal, we can say, dignity. We need that equal opportunity to speak up. Like I can give you some examples. Again, from Thailand, I was there in 2015. I went there for 3 months as a translator because Indian bhikkhunis were there.
Thailand is Theravada.
Theravada. So the place where I was staying was the Vihara of Bhikkhuni Dhammananda, the first bhikkhuni from Thailand. So she had many samneris, like student in robes. So they were going to study Pali to the bhikkhus. So doing that study, they were allowed to do that. But when the time came to give an exam, they stopped them. They said you have to wear the white dress to give this exam. You won't be given certificate. Means here we find that the lay women, means upasikas, are given more importance than the bhikkhunis. Even in the study field, in the universities, a bhikkhu can sit in the class in the university while doing his studies in Buddhism, Buddhist studies or Pali, whatever it is. He is a student there. He is sitting in front. A woman, as a lecturer, she is teaching and they're ready to hear her. But if a bhikkhuni is there, they will say no. They don't want to study from bhikkhunis. This kind of thing has come up, saying that no, bhikkhunis have no right to speak in front of bhikkhus. That is what is going on.
So in the Diksha Bhumi committee, for example, I noticed that there is a person from Japan, Arya
Yes. Nagarjun Surai Sasai.
Nagarjun Surya Sasai.
Surai Sasai.
And there is, is that common, number one? And do you ever foresee a day when a bhikkhuni will be part of that committee one day maybe? Is that something that is...
We are not trying for it.
Why not?
Because that is not our...
Diksha Bhumi is seen by us from the outside as the epicenter, the center of the Ambedkarite Buddhist.
See, having a position or being a part of a committee, your mission is limited.
But you can also get a lot done in terms of...
It will be only for that part, no? For Diksha Bhumi, what is the role of Diksha Bhumi committee? To take care of the Diksha Bhumi, to take care of whatever what events are taking place there.
Okay, maybe Diksha Bhumi is a bad example then. But no, I'm saying that the administrative bodies of Buddhism, there is a World Conference of Buddhists, there are different platforms on which the Buddhist path is decided.
So being a part of a conferences.
Are there decision-making bodies who decide the practice, the theology, this entire thing? On these matters, for example, the reason I ask you is now, so you have ordained a male bhikkhu. There is a controversy over it. Is there some kind of body which either approves or disapproves something like this, or is it
No,
each
there
to
is
themselves?
nothing like that till now. Not even a...
Mahabodhi society?
No.
Like among the Muslims, there is the...
it's not like that in...
Or among Christians,
Buddhism.
there is the Church of North India, Church of South India.
Not yet.
There is no such
Not
body.
yet. Because in India, no one thought of it. I tell you. Instead of saying no one thought of it, I mean to say that till today, the bhikkhus from India, they are following the rules and regulations of the Theravada countries.
And that's actually something I wanted to ask you. You said this before also in the course of this interview. The Theravada countries, let's take two examples. Myanmar and Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
Some of the majoritarianism over there is Buddhist majoritarianism. There is, a trail of blood in Sri Lanka, for which there's been a lot of religious sanction or sanction from certain sections of monks. The same we saw with the Rohingya in Myanmar.
By Myanmar.
How do you see this? I mean,
See,
is
actually,
it a Theravada country problem? Because we don't see this in any of the other Buddhist countries.
what you said?
Is it a problem with Theravada Buddhism, you think?
Yeah, it is
Because
a
there's
problem with Theravada Buddhism.
You think that what is
Yes.
happening in Myanmar and Sri Lanka is connected to how Theravada is structured?
Yes. Then we'll have to understand from the starting point of Theravada.
Please tell me.
Actually, at the time of Buddha, there was no Vada, no Yana. As soon as the Buddha's Mahaparinirvan was there, at that time, Buddha said before Mahaparinirvana, he said to Anand, Bhikkhu Anand, that my successor is only Dhamma. No one is a successor. But after Mahaparinirvana, some politics type of thing happened that the message was that the Mahakashyapa Bhikkhu has yet to come. So we have to wait for him to burn.
To be born. Huh.
To burn the body.
Oh, to burn the body.
To burn the body.
To burn whose body?
Buddha's body.
Siddhartha Gautama.
Yeah, Buddha's body. Somewhere it is written in the text that they were lighting it, with whatever they used, but the fire was not burning. And they said it is because Mahakashyapa did not came there. And he was far away. Until that time, they will have to wait. Actually, 7 days, the body was kept. And it was common practice for the king's body or like the body of the well-known person. They used to keep it for 7 days. That was common. But still, they said that because Mahakashyap Bhikkhu did not come, we are waiting and he will only lit the fire. So, automatically, it happened that he became the successor. Means, according to the Hindu rituals, the son or the successor lit the fire to the dead body. And after 3 months, he called for a council. And in that council, he called 500 arhats. He said 500 arhats. And he said, Ananda is not her arhat. He avoided Ananda. But he knew that in a council, the discussion on what Buddha taught was an important part. That the rules which Buddha has given for the Sangha was an important part. So Bhikkhu Upali was there to talk on the rule, that is the Vinay Pitaka. And Ananda was the only one. There is a long story behind it, but we can say that he was the one who knew each and every part of what Buddha has given in his discourse. Now again there is a question, a question arises there, that were there only 500 bhikkhus who are arhat? That means there were lakhs of bhikkhus. Okay? But Mahakashyapa called only 500 who were his disciples following. Ananda and Upali were not from his side. Because Mahakashyapa never listened to Buddha. Many times Buddha told him to follow this kind of things, the discipline and all. There are many things which we can't discuss it now. In another time we can do it.
No, I just find it interesting, this thing. I mean, of course, we can't go into detail. Each character has their own backstory.
Yes.
But broadly, what you're saying is so similar to the origin story of post-Prophet Muhammad or post-Jesus. The immediate controversy that breaks out as to how the order will follow.
Yeah.
And that's very interesting that you mentioned this. But how is it connected to Theravada?
Yeah, that is why I'm saying in this council, they said that they don't want to change the rules. They don't want to change anything from the Vinay Pitaka, rules for the Sangha. But Buddha, before Mahaparinibbana, said there are many rules which can be avoided. Okay? He kept it as flexible. Even in his lifetime, he changed many rules. Okay? But here, the word was used because they are Theras, others have to listen to them. Theras means the senior one. So this Thera word came there. So those who did not listen to what was decided in the first council, they were a kind of thrown out of that place, we can say. And so they formed another group that became the Mahayana, and they said they are Hinayana. So the Theravada group is called Hinayana. So this Yana and this Vad came after the Buddha. And here this Theravada group, they don't want to compromise on any rules. They are very strict type. So on any part, they don't want to compromise. And if you're going against it, you're not Theravadis. It is not you're not Buddhist. They don't say you're not Buddhist. They say you're not Theravadis. Therefore, they had strict rule that who are not Theravadis should not wear the orange robes also. Therefore, Mahayanis had different colors of robes.
Oh.
Yes.
But you are wearing the Theravada robes.
It's our freedom given from the Constitution of India.
But this...
I'll tell you,
Yeah.
When I took this robe, and my sister, Bhikkuni Vijaya Maitriya, she wanted to take robe. She said, in Mahayani, they are very comfortable robes, Really, they are very comfortable, looking good and all. So she said, why don't you change? I said, the bhikkhus want that you should change. And I don't want to. We had a good discussion on this, how the robe should be. She was going for comfortability. And I said, we don't want to fulfill their views. They want us. They will say, oh, see, they can't follow this. What Buddha has given, it's not easy to follow it. So they changed it. I said, we don't want to give that reason to say that. I want to wear that robe which the Bhikkunis used to wear and with the Bhikkhu wears. We don't want to show we are different from you. We are equal. So the robe should also be equal with the same color. So this is, to show that yes, you cannot deny our rights. Actually, really, if you think of religious part as a Buddhism, bhikkhus won't allow us to do. But it is the human rights given in the Constitution of India. We are able to face this kind of discrimination and overcome it.
But I'm trying to understand why you said that it is what's happening in Myanmar, what is happening in Sri Lanka is connected in a way to how Theravada is practiced and structured. Do you say this because Theravada monks or orders interfere in state matters?
No.
Why do you say this? Because is there a separation between when we talk separation between the church and the state, we say, right? In religious matters or in Theravada, is there a kind of...
Then we'll have to go to the history of Mahakashyap Bhikkhu.
Okay. No, we will not go there then. Okay. What we'll do is, in that case, so let's look at the complication that arises out of the fact that in a place like Tamil Nadu, I met Maurya Bhante. I found it very strange that he keeps going to Sri Lanka and he's a Tamil speaking person. He goes not to the north, he goes to the south, he, to Colombo and different parts, and he visits the monasteries over there and deals with Sinhala monks over there. How does that equation play out? Have you been there? Is there hostility, firstly?
Actually...
You've been to a lot of parts of Tamil Nadu, I understand.
Yes.
But Sri Lanka also, have you been there?
No.
But how
I was offered many times, but I didn't go.
Why?
That is another part. It will take again more time to say why I did not go to Sri Lanka. Actually, I wanted to work in Tamil Nadu. My journey started from Tamil Nadu as a Bhikkhuni. As soon as I left NCDHR, National Campaign on Dalit Human Rights, I went to Tamil Nadu first to stay with the Sakya hostel. And I travelled with one England Bhikkhuni to many universities, many parts of Tamil Nadu and the universities. So, one person who was in this yatra from Coimbatore, Shekhar, Mr. Shekhar. He was the one who told me when we went there that Maharashtrian people are very selfish. Baba Sahib had done a lot for Tamil Nadu people or South India. But now no one is turning up here to tell Buddhism and Ambedkarism. So I said, maybe one part, at one side you are right. But the other very important part is that there is a language problem. So even if we want to come here, we are not able to because we don't understand. We cannot communicate easily. And I found that because I was English, I was able to speak English. At least I had some access to communicate with them. But 95% of Bhikkhu Bhikkhunis, they don't have that access. They can't speak English. Nowadays there are many. But at that time when I used to go there.
15 years ago? 10, 15, 20 years?
17 years before.
17 years ago.
So bhikkhus were not, they were, the bhikkhus which are very highly educated now, they were young at that time. And they were not in robes, we can say. So many of them were not able to speak English and they did not have any context. It was different for me because I was working as a social worker from early times and I had contacts in Tamil Nadu itself before taking the robes. So it was very easy for me to go there, because of the friends circle and from the colleagues and all. It was very easy for me to go and communicate there, even translating the things and all. So others did not have that kind of access. So I said to him, okay, when I'll take robe, I'll start from Tamil Nadu. So really after taking robe, I went to Tamil Nadu first. Therefore we had a Dhamma Yatra. Dhamma Yatra means taking Dhamma to different parts of Tamil Nadu. So at that time there were 32 districts and I traveled all 32 districts with Sakya Pannudurai. So I met all the people, mostly the Dalits, and most of them were illiterate. These Sakya groups with whom I had contact, they had known Baba Sahib after coming to the Chennai University. Madras University, Madras University. They came there for higher education and they got to know about Baba Sahib and after that they formed that Sakya group and through them I went. So it was a kind of educational revolution with Baba Sahib. So with them I went to different, all the parts of Tamil Nadu and I met many people, those who were having good job. They were into they wanted Buddha vihars to be constructed there because they knew Baba Sahib took Buddhism. So when they saw me, they felt like, okay, now Bhikkhuni is here. We have to do something. We can bring Buddhism here with Baba Sahib Ambedkar, like that. It happened. So I traveled many places. And when I went there, first I went to the Igmore Mahabodhi Vihar. And I found that from 1891, the Vihar is there, the Mahabodhi Vihar in Igmore. So it is at the time of Baba Sahib's birth year. But the bhikkhus staying there, they never had a relation with the Tamilians there, local Tamilians.
Where were these bhikkhus from?
Sri Lanka.
Oh.
They are from Sri Lanka.
And they were staying here throughout during the peak of the Tamil struggle.
That is what Theravada is. They won't travel to people. Even if they go, they will go to the people whom they know. Okay? They learn Tamil, they speak Tamil, but they don't go and tell Dhamma to the people. The people had to come to the Vihar. And those who don't know, why will they come? Actually, that Vihar
Those who don't know, actually, did you face any hostility? Because among the Dalits and the Tamils who were coming in from Jaffna and other parts of Sri Lanka as refugees, to them you would have appeared just like a typical Theravada monk.
Whatever they think, I just said Jai Bhim to all.
No, but did they mistake you? Was there any kind of...
No, not for me. Because
You said in Villupuram,
it was like, I used to realize that, that they have something in their mind against me. But I made it easy for them by speaking with them, by talking about Baba Sahib, by talking about the situation of Dalit, the untouchability and all. Yes, they had that kind of in their mind. Okay. But I knew, so I handled that situation. So it was not a problem for me. But yes, it was there. And this thing, it was like they used to welcome me. Actually, the Tamil speaking people were there with me. They took me there. So they used to introduce me in that way. That I belong to the Ambedkarite state, from where the Ambedkar came and who has done a lot for Dalits. It was very easy for me. So anyway, we heard in between that many people went to Igmore they had a conflict with the Bhikkus there. And I've seen that that Vihar is used for the Sri Lankan people who come to India. It's a halting place for them. It's good. We need that, because we don't have any other place where they can stay before taking the flight, train or whatever it is, because Chennai is the place where it's a junction kind of thing. So, but many people, those who knew Buddhism, they got in contact with them. They knew what it is. So they used to go and have programs in that Vihar. Till now it's going on. When I went at that time, they had one Samnera program. Small children took the robes there for 10 days. The children were from Arkonam. And I was called there because Arkonam people knew me. I travelled there in the Mayatra, so they called me. So I went there. So only for last 2 days I was there. And they asked me that they want to take these boys in robes to the village in Arkonam. And it is not a practice in Buddhism, in Theravada. The one who gives the robes only has to take off the robe. It is the practice. When they asked me, I said, no problem, you take them, I am with you. That was also yes, they want to show it is the promotion of Buddhism. And I said, yes, I am there with you. You take the rally. And yes, the people should know that children can take the robes. They can live that life. Women is there who is in robe. So she can be a part of it. So I took them. It was very the Bhikkus from that place, Igmore, Mahabodhi Vihar, was very but I found that he was very friendly with me personally. He knew that I am I'm talking about the human rights. I want the correct thing to be done. I don't want on the name of religion to do anything wrong. So I said, I'm taking the responsibility. I took them. We had a good function there, and last day I took off the robes.
For the kids. Huh?
For the kids. This kind of things I did in Tamil Nadu.
And these kind of things keeps getting into trouble? Does it? Do you face a lot of resistance and
don't
backlash?
know. I can't say it is a trouble. That is a part of it. That is the part of the work. I'm ready that this kind of thing will happen and I have to face it. And I have the solution with me. So I did not take it as a problem or a trouble.
But you know that throughout your journey going forward here, so far, if it is anything to judge, I'm sure going forward you will find a lot of resistance, and you will find it within the Ambedkarite Buddhist movement only.
Yes. I had a solution. I know I will convince them. Or they will be pressurized to follow what I want to say. So I'm very easy. It's always easy for me to do this kind of things. So 2 men from the Christianity, they took robe from me. Siddhartha Lewis from Madurai and Bodha Maurya. Siddhartha Lewis was a pastor, I think. But
Maurya also went for training to be a pastor, I think.
yeah, but it's a mixed family. Like, I don't know detail. Also following the Hinduism in his family and Christianity also. I found that there in Tamil Nadu that in same family many
Yes,
kind
yes.
of religions are there.
That's true, yes.
The mother follow one religion, father is following, and children are following the third religion. It is like that in Tamil Nadu. I found that. So,
Middle path.
and because Siddharth was the first one to take rope from my side, I knew that problem will be there. So I told him, you have to take care. If anyone question me, you have to answer that you have a right to choose your teacher. And yes, it happened. Bhikkhus came, they were very angry because of this program. They said, we are here. Why he is not asking us? Why he called Suniti from Maharashtra to give rope? Then he said, I want only Suniti as my teacher. But the bad part was that one thing he was saying right way, but he did not interpret it in good sense. As if it is said that no, Baba Sahib said that he wanted new order of priest. So he took it new order of priest as living in a family and wearing robes only when he is going to the program, like Christianity.
So he was managing both the family.
He did not. I called him many times that you should take training, but he never turned up. He used to avoid my calls. So it was my bad experience. But for Bodha Maurya, I first gave 10 days training, then I gave rope to him. So he is still there and he is highly ordained in Sri Lanka. He is also not wearing robe. He is in this orange or maroon shirt and pant with shaved head and all. He is there. He looks like monk when he goes to the area where Dalits are very much against the Sri Lankan people, you know. They have different kind of thoughts. He goes there. He wears robes only when there is a need, but he does not wear the civil dress. He says that is the need of the place. Actually, I can go and tell them what the Buddhism is. So he is doing a little bit right path, and he called for trainings to the novices like Samners there. I went there and gave training. 2 Samnera camp I had done there. So he is slowly developing it. But the major conflict was when I gave robes to Raj Ratan Ambedkar.
Oh.
Yes, last year on 5th October.
Raj Ratan Ambedkar, the great grandson of
Yes.
Ambedkar. Great grandson, no?
Yes.
Okay.
I gave robes to him.
He has taken robes now.
For 1 month he took.
Oh.
And he said, I want it from you.
But that's also very high endorsement, right?
Yes. You know the temperature of Maharashtra. All the bhikkhus at the Diksha Bhumi were saying, she is not a bhikkhuni. She doesn't know anything. And they were also abusing Rajratan Ambedkar. He doesn't know what. We are so many bhikkhus are here. He didn't ask us. And he is going to that bhikkhuni who doesn't know anything like that. We were also threatened. For 1 month we kept quiet. It was on Facebook, WhatsApp, what not it was going on. Lastly, Bhikkhuni Maitreya just wrote a Facebook post asking what wrong we have done according to the Vinay Pitaka. Everyone said it is not written in Vinay Pitaka that Bhikkhunis cannot give robes. It does not come under any crime. Vinay Pitaka has Patimukya where the crimes are there.
Right.
And we have punishment for that. So under which category of crime it comes? And when this question was asked, one of the senior bhikkhu called and no, he said, no, you did not do any crime. But till now, no bhikkhuni gave. That doesn't mean that it cannot be done anytime. It is not a crime. From that time, it is all settled.
But you might not have committed a crime, but you've broken many unwritten rules.
Yes.
And I want to wish you all the best. And
Thank
if
you.
you'll allow me to conclude the show here, because I understand that this is a conversation that should keep on going. It should continue. And for those who want to follow your work, you give these discourses every week. It's called your
Parita Sutta.
Parita Sutta. Every Sunday.
Sunday, we speak on discussion on Buddha and his Dhamma.
And this is available
Online.
This is available online
Buddhist Fraternity Council.
on Spotify.
It's organized.
On Spotify or
No. It's a Google Meet, I think.
It's a Google Meet. And how can
Yeah.
people attend it?
Through link.
They can find you on social media.
I think the Buddhist Fraternity Council, they put the link.
On their
There is
social
a
media.
group, and we share, everyone share that link to their friend circle or something like that.
Okay.
And they join.
So if they search for Bhikuni Suniti, they'll be able to find your weekly.
I don't know whether it is like that or not.
Okay.
We'll have to ask Mrudula about it.
Okay, we'll leave the technology aside, but I'm sure people will be very interested to know about you and your ism. Thank you so much for
Not my
spending
ism.
the ism of the Bhikuni Sangha.
No, it is only Buddha's teachings.
Okay, only Buddha's teachings. Bhikuni Suniti, thank you so much for giving us this time. Namo
Most
Buddhaya.
welcome.
Jai Bhim.
Jai Bhim.
I hope this conversation gave you something to think about. I'll be back with another provocative thinker in the next episode of What's Your Ism? The News Minute and this show reaches people because of people like you. It's ironic that outlets with cash aren't invested in their journalism, and those who are invested in their journalism just don't have the cash. You can help change that one subscription at a time. Become a TNM member.